Again, sorry, I was on mute and I did not know it. That's when it happens when you're tired. But again, welcome to the Chelsea Transfer Watch on Chelsea Perspective. Again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time and zone. We're back again, and today it will be more like a freestyle show where we let those in the chat drive the conversation. And if anything, if we see anything new on the internet or regarding Chelsea Football Club, we will address it. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Hi, Louisa. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Okay, looks like she's on mute, but I'm going to go ahead as is a tradition and Chelsea Perspective to get to cover whatever we have in the chat already. But it looks like she's back. Louisa, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you, Coach?
I can't complain. I can't complain. Nice to have you back on again. I thought maybe I was going to host today's show again alone, but I'm glad to have you on the panel with me. Maybe you ask some, excellent questions because I'm a bit tired now, but it's okay. We'll roll, and I still believe it will be a brilliant show. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and try and catch up with what we have in the chat already to see what the people are saying. And this is Liam Lane saying, good evening, Coach, and everyone joining the panel and chat. Nice to see you, Liam Lane. Again, I hope everything is good on your end. Just read CFC is willing to use Colwell on loan to entice Everton into selling us Richarlison. Given them back, Colwell doesn't need a Lampard as his coach. I know you've argued that before. You'd rather him go somewhere else. Again, I don't know what to make of this news. I thought maybe Colwell will be integrated into the team. He's good enough from what we're seeing. And again, we haven't even signed anybody, you could argue, that's specialized in fulfilling the Rudiger role. Why even consider this? Why even entertain that if Everton were the ones that make the move? And again, do we really need a Richarlison? I don't know. I'll come back to you on the panel with that question, Louisa, but let me catch up fully with what we have in the chat. Colwell, yep, again, that's annoying me right now. Again, that's just people exchanging greetings there. Would you like Richarlison, True Blue? Honestly, I don't like him. He's hardworking, but I just don't know. I can't put a hand on why I don't really like him as a player. Is he good? I say he's good. And thank you for reminding me that. I think Louisa quickly sent me a message via the private chat, but thank you very much. I probably have to cut off that aspect when the video is ready. We cannot hear you. Yeah, we've gone beyond that. What do you people think about Dembele? I think he's a good player. His signing is not going to be straightforward for us. It comes in with some PR situation that I believe the club probably will be proactive regarding the situation. I think I'm thinking they might probably get him to sign something, regarding his behavior in the past, or to agree to putting out a statement regarding his past or something like that. I'm thinking that those are actually factors, I think, that have made us, completing the signing complicated. Yes, it is not the first of next month yet when the European window will be open. But I think those factors may well, be in play, but we don't know. Zaha for Werner, again, a good move. Let me see anything else here. It says True Blue, like me, doesn't like Richarlison. Koulibaly is a good Chelsea move. I hope we're still talking with him, or maybe let me say, I hope we're serious about going for Koulibaly. Again, we'll see. And sign a hungry left back, Slazai. Again, I've talked about him. Mac Damien Anoro Look, sounds like you're an Igbo boy. I think we've talked about that here on Chelsea Perspective. We don't know what's going on there. There was, I think it was a few months ago, we heard the rumors that the deal is actually complete, that we're just waiting for the transfer window to open and he joins us. And people were busy, scouting him on YouTube, watching his highlights and saying how good he is and all that. Big up Coachila said late night streams. Yeah. Deals CLC, how you doing, brother? I hope everything things are well on your end. Chelsea need Rice and the team. That's your argument. I have my own again opinion on that. Will Broya and Gallagher be in the squad next season? It remains to be seen. Again, I'm going to repeat what I said before a few days ago. Thomas Tuchel, who was waxing lyrics about Conor Gallagher, towards the end of the season, he was asked about him, and his response was, "We'll take a look at everybody during preseason, and then we'll make decisions." So there's no guarantee. But if you ask me, I'd say most likely he's proven that he can do it in the Premier League. Maybe that's a chance because the manager approaches the game differently from how Patrick Vieira does. Maybe that would be an issue. I hope not. So I'm going to come back to the panel. Louisa, how are you doing? Do you have any updates for us from the women's end or even the men's end? Up to you.
Oh, just like less than around 12 hours ago, that's when I found out that there's some rumors about Richarlison coming to Chelsea. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Richarlison is not going to be part of the solution to the immediate problems we have at Chelsea right now. We don't really have a striker problem at the moment. So most of our problems is now because of the mass exodus from our
defensive department.
We have also our midfield also needs to become more creative and active. I feel like if people like I feel like Havertz and Werner, they are good enough right now if we are able to get them the creation that they would need. But I don't see Richarlison as the solution to our problem. If we are going after, like, I know we're trying to compete for the title here with Liverpool and City, who have gone and signed Haaland and Nunez. I really don't rate Nunez that much because I've not really watched him a lot. So I'm really going to just admit that I've not seen a lot of him to really say, okay, yeah, we're getting a threat. The only thing about the Nunez deal that really got me worried was like, okay, Liverpool knew they had an issue. They went and got a player to solve that potential money sized hole in their team, which I feel like as a fan, that gives you confidence in your team that, okay, yeah, they know what's going on. So I feel like that's one of the issues fans at Chelsea are having right now, the confidence from the team that nothing is being done, they don't see. But I feel like they also want to win trophies. They want to keep their status as one of the top clubs in Europe. So I fully believe that they are doing something. But at the end of the day, we really don't want them to keep it too long for when all the players who are really the right fit for us to be off the market.
And that's the only point. That's the only aspect of the whole thing that I'm concerned about. But again, like I've said a zillion times here on the panel, I think they're well at work behind the scenes, and we'll be surprised players that will come in. Some of which we haven't even talked about. Some of which, we don't even know they're talking with. So, like again. Whenever I hear people concerned regarding the club's activities in the transfer market, the first thing that usually comes to mind are Peter Cech's comments that he leaves on the form, that it's going to be a busy summer for us. And they're probably already talking to a few players here and there, but he's not going to let us know. I think that's his way of saying, calm down, that things will be fine. Thank you very much for that update. DJ Sav, brother, welcome to the panel. How are you doing, bro?
Hey, good evening. Good evening, Coach. Good evening, everyone. In the comment section, everyone on the stream as well. How is everyone today? You all good?
Yeah, I can't complain, bro. I can't complain. Ty, how about you? All right, Ty, looks like he's not close to his microphone. DJ, let me come straight with you. Do you have any, to you, so to speak, do you have any updates
I'm
for
here.
us?
I just had issues with my meeting.
Okay, but you're good, right? Okay, DJ, any updates for us from your end?
Nothing at all, Coachila. I mean, obviously, the goalkeeper that we're supposing we signed and we're going to loan him back out is a deal that I think we've got done. I do believe that's the only really incoming in at Chelsea at the moment. Obviously, the ladies team have already made 2 signings already as well. That's thus far in the Chelsea world at the moment. But Chelsea fans shouldn't worry. There will be some business happening within the club. I'll probably say give it a couple of weeks. I think people have got to know Tuchel. I think Tuchel is on holiday, even though he says he wasn't going on holiday. I do believe he was in Italy a couple of weeks ago, I think on holiday somewhere there. So I do believe once he comes back, things will start pushing, and wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of things happening within the next couple of weeks. So
again, I've said before, I don't think he really, it is strictly holiday for him in Italy. He gets a chance to talk with some of the players that we've been rumored to be linked with. That's a chance. That's what he's doing. And he don't want everybody to know he's on the club's business. But again, that's how I see it. Sorry?
Outgoings?
Oh, any outgoings? Go ahead. You update us, Ty.
No, I'm saying that. What about outgoings? He could be in Italy for 2 reasons: incomings and outgoings. Remember, there's some players linked to move. Not only Lukaku, there's other players being linked with Italian moves. So you never know.
Loftus-Cheek, for example, being one of them.
Yeah, do you think he's going to leave, really, DJ?
There is a possibility that he may go. How much of it? I know he's linked with a couple of clubs. I know Jose likes him. There's a talk of him going down there. I do believe Napoli. I do believe Sarri's another manager who's actually a big admirer of his as well in Italy. But it would not, put it this way, it would not surprise me if he did go. At the same time, if he was to stay up, if he stays, I'll be happy. If he stays, to be honest with you, I don't really want him to go, Loftus-Cheek, because I still think he's got something to offer. But it depends on what the manager sees going forward for next season. But there is a lot of speculation surrounding Loftus-Cheek at the moment.
Yeah, I honestly do not think he leaves. I think Thomas Tuchel has shown he loves him, and Thomas Tuchel, I've over time learned he likes utility players he can always go to or call upon to go play in position A, B, C, and they do it. I think he's going to keep him, but we'll see, because we need a large squad, and there's no chance we'll sign as many players as he wants this window. So I think people who think in the club are going to, clear out the midfield, clear out the forwards. It's not going to be that simple. Plus, we didn't start our businesses on time. We were under restrictions that stopped us from, going into agreements with players and getting them to put pen to paper. We were allowed to talk with them, but that's it. So again, I don't think the changes will be that much at Chelsea. If we really want to perform next season, we have to approach that rebuild strategically. Again, that's me. I want us to quickly, before I go back to the chat, to look at this news here. I hope that's the correct one here. This Albanian player, he's 27. I think he's 27, and he's 6'4", which means he's tall. Here's Fabrizio Romano saying Thomas Strakosha now attracting interest, available on a free transfer. Chelsea are considering him as one of the options, but only in case Kepa will leave the club this summer, and I still do believe Kepa will leave. So your thoughts on that? Where does that leave Nathan Baxter? Because we all hoped that Baxter will probably most definitely come in and be the second choice goalkeeper, because I've heard how now he's a confident kid. The kid is confident and it's pretty good, and he's done well in the championship. So again, let me know, DJ, your thoughts. Where does that leave Nathan Baxter? Because if we're signing this guy, he's 27, which means we're bringing him in to be the second choice goalkeeper.
I think what it is, I think what we've got to take into consideration here is that it's all well good, wanting to keep these young players. I'm for the youth players coming through and everything. but we also need to have experience as well. And whether people like to accept or not, Kepa is still an experienced player, even at the age of 27. Now, if he was to obviously go elsewhere and play first team football somewhere else, which looks more likely to happen because there's a lot of clubs looking at him at the moment.
Do you think on loan, or do you think he has to leave?
I think he may end up. I think he might end up leaving permanently. I don't think he'll go on loan. I think there are too many clubs out there for him, including Thai's second team, and also some couple of clubs in Italy are looking at him as well.
What team is Thai's second team?
I'll let Ty tell you afterwards.
I can't believe you just put me on the spot, DJ. You just put me on the spot, man.
No, bro, but not in a bad way, bro. It's
when people say that, when people hear that,
go ahead, DJ. Okay, go ahead. Sorry for disturbing you.
No. I didn't put him in. I didn't put him on the spot. I know he. I mean, I know. I've got a soft spot for Porto, mate, and they're a Portuguese team in Portugal. So I'm not going to sit and lie about that. But yeah, look, I mean, there is a couple of clubs that are looking at him, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was to move on. And the whole reason why we're bringing this other goalkeeper, if it's the truth, it's only for experience, and he's 27 years old. So
26. I think 26 or so. I think he was born I'm not sure the year, but around that number. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's a free as well, Coachila. So that's the other thing we've got to look at as well. He's not worth spending any money on this guy. He's going to come in as a free transfer.
Yeah, Ty, your thoughts. What are you concerned about Nathan Baxter?
When I think about all these, youth players and especially the goalkeepers, not only Nathan Baxter, I can remember coming because he did well on loan as well. So I mean that's another one as well. It really is unfortunate because I'm not really sure how likely.
And we actually picked him in our lineup, right?
Who?
We picked Baxter as a second choice. The lineup we're building, the 2022-2023 lineup. That's what we picked him. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that with these sort of situations, is it a case where, in what sense will Baxter be at the club, with the way things stand right now? Because I'm really not sure. I'm just concerned. I thought we are all agreed. We talked about it. Even people in the chat, thought maybe he'd get a chance because he's that good. They say. Yeah, and he had a good loan. I mean, I remember the number that of goals he conceded. I think it's good enough in terms of what top goalkeepers concede, and considering the games that he's played. I think with him, and especially with what that says right there, it's saying that but only in case. This means that if Kepa stays, I'm not sure how that goes because we would practically have 4 goalkeepers. There we have the youth goalkeeper who trains with the team. You'd have Bettinelli, and you'd have Mendy and Baxter's Aine. So it's unfortunate because I think maybe you can probably use him as a second choice, possibly, and then you have Bettinelli to rotate with him in terms of that. But I think it's unfortunate when it comes on to these goalkeepers because they're young, and I mean I can remember what had to happen with what's his name? Is it Blackman? I think that's his name, and I mean he never worked out. I don't think he even played for us, so I'm not sure about him, and it's really unfortunate with him because I think it will probably save us a couple of money if he stays around and get some development because he's a goalkeeper. So I think it's unfortunate with him because I think he's done well on loan. On each of his loans, he's actually done well. I think he had an injury in one while he was on loan at one team, and then he came back and he was stronger. So and he even played through injury. So I mean, it just shows that we have such great common players that actually have this fighting spirit in them. And I mean, it's unfortunate that you're not able to keep all of them, or keep rather the ones that are extremely good, and you have to sell some of them or loan them out continuously until you can make space for them. it's unfortunate with him, and I'm really not sure what could happen, because if this is the case and we're looking for a quality goalkeeper, on a free, I really do think that it doesn't really send a good message to him, and plus
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. It clearly what he sees on the wall right now is that there's no path to the first
he's
team.
one
Again,
of the
we're just assuming now. Yeah, we're just right now assuming that will be the case, but that may not be the case. But I think it's difficult. But go ahead if you're still talking, brother.
Yeah, I was just saying that with that, and with Kepa, this, I know you're confident that Kepa could end up leaving. I mean, there's no shortage of clubs interested in him. The only thing is that his wages, not many clubs will be willing to pay that for a goalkeeper that is second choice. I mean, people see him as a quality goalkeeper. I think he's good. I just think that he's just unfortunate that he probably isn't of the level per se that fans expect of their goalkeeper. And I think if he goes somewhere else, he can be first choice. But I think the wages is one of the major setbacks, because unless he takes some wage cut in a sense where it reduces the amount that he earns, I don't really see something going too far ahead with our signing, because I think there's a lot of clubs that would be willing to sign him, but the wages would probably cause them to really think twice, or probably cool their interest. But I don't know, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, again, I understand your argument. I'll come back to the panel a bit. Let me try and catch up before it's too long. For Louisa, plus anyone that thinks that we don't have a goal scoring issue, difference between Chelsea and to Liverpool, goals conceded, 7 goals scored, plus 20. Again, I don't have the stats off my head to argue that. But anybody on the panel want to say anything about this? And thank you for the donation, Declan. I sincerely do appreciate that. Anybody, or should I just go ahead? Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't get I didn't get what the person was trying to ask. Is the person asking if there's a goal scoring?
I think when you spoke, did you say anything about us goal scoring not being our problem?
Oh, I talk about the difference between the chance creation from Liverpool, City, and Chelsea. The chance created are like the gulf between the chances created are quite large, and the misses. We don't miss as many chances as Liverpool miss, but at the end of the day, they score more than us because they do have a large volume to. Because, for instance, someone creates 100 chances, which is
you're breaking up.
70 goals out of 100 chances, compared to Chelsea that will probably make. Oh, sorry about that. Compared to Chelsea, who will probably create maybe, let's say, 50 chances. And by the time they create 50 chances and are even scoring 80% or 90%, they are still going about 40 or 45 goals, which is still behind a Liverpool who has large volume of creation.
I think that makes sense. Anybody on the panel want to add anything to that, or should I just go ahead? All right, I'm going to try and catch up.
I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I keep hearing people say that we create chances, we do this, but I need to ask this question: how many of those chances are clear-cut chances, goal-scoring chances? Because I see, because in the modern world of football, the moment that a ball gets into somebody's foot and it goes over the bar, or the ball goes up and they can't control it, that's called a chance. How many of those chances are clear-cut chances where you can say that we create these chances and, oh, boom, this is supposed to be a goal? There's a lot of occasions like that, but how many of those? We see that we create 66 chances. We create 14 chances in the game. But if we look into them, the amount of those quote-unquote chances are some of those chances are overhit. Some of those chances are too powerful that players have to slide in to try to get a touch to the ball. So I don't know where this this assumption that we create clear-cut chances come from. We don't do it on a regular basis. It's inconsistent. The only time we may do that is if it's like a tapping or if somebody makes a pass and then you see probably like a Reece James doing something and he score goals. It's those are the type of chances that we create and actually score goals. People want to say that we had our greatest game against Juventus. When I look back at that 4-0 win, Reece James took a overlapping pass was made to him. He took it first time. It went in. Columbus Nadoy, a pass was made from Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who dribbled it into the box, and all Columbus Nadoy did was kick the ball into the back of the net from close range. Werner close range. I mean, people need to look into it because, and that's the sad thing. Stats are so misleading, and that's why I don't judge players of stats, or I don't judge clubs based on stats, because the stats can make somebody look better or worse than they actually are. So I think in that case, I don't know where this clear-cut chances creation comes from. People say that certain players create so much chances and we don't finish them. But after watching
the point.
Sorry, what did you say, Louisa? Sorry, Louisa, are you there? Go ahead, Ty. I think she's having an audio issue.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is that, you know, with this, I think
it's a case. Ty is actually buttressing, making my point more clear when you think about the difference between the quality of chances.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I get what you're saying. Again, I think this would take a whole show to talk about, because some people argue otherwise, or some people tell you we've scored the most goals in Europe, or some close to that argument. But we'll talk about that another day. And right now we have 80-30 people watching, and we have just 28 likes. Come on, people, we can do better than that. Again, thank you for 28 likes, and thank you for Declan for the donation to the channel. If you haven't, people, keep liking the video. I honestly, I don't like that is. You don't have to donate. Let me just phrase it that way, so I don't come across like I'm ungrateful. You don't have to donate. The more the likes, the better. The more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the more people will be able to reach, and the more people will have, the more fun the show will be. And while you're at it, if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. Here says, Coachila, I'll be real. I'm going to stop talking about who we're buying because it's all rumors right now. I thought we should get straight into business to make a reaction. Again, we don't have to know who the club are looking at. And like I've explained here before, we're able to come to the conclusions that Kounde is coming and Dembele is coming, given the circumstances that surround our pursuit of those players that I've talked about. It's easier, to put two and two together and say, this is going to happen. Kounde's case, we were after him, and we remember what happened. I don't want to go into it. So again, it's like we're impatient for a reason. We love the club, and we want to see us do well. And other clubs are bringing in players. And we must remember also, we were not allowed. I've said these like a zillion times. We were not allowed, because we were under restrictions. We were not allowed, to get players or clubs to put pen to paper, come to a conclusion and then say, okay, we'll sign a player, because we were under restrictions. So be calm. I think we'll be fine. And here, Erica Lungu says a Kounde deal should be done soon. Exactly, it should be done. But we'll talk about him today. I'm going to have rice for breakfast. Okay, enjoy it. You get it, right? TT weighing up Wolves. Yeah, weighing up Wolves win back. Ryan Itanori. Ryan, how well do you know him? Anybody on the panel know him very well?
I mean, all I can say is that Mason Mount, Columbus Nadoy, and Pulisic put him on the ground. That's what I have to say.
They put him on a what?
They put him on the ground. Remember, I don't know if you remember this game. It was Tuchel's first game. So yeah, I mean, I think it was Columbus Nadoy who sat him down completely.
Yeah.
And the guy just twisted his foot and just fell
down. So you guys clearly don't like him.
I don't like him. He's young. I think he's 23, 21, probably that age. Mm-hmm. And he can create. He has pace because he's young. But I just feel like, if we want a competitor for Chilwell, we need somebody who is actually they have the skill set in defending and attacking. He has the attacking side of it, so that's a plus for the attack. But you also need the assurance that when you're not playing Chilwell, who we're going to have to be hopeful comes back and not much is changed, because I think he's probably going to take some time to really get back some confidence in his body and using his feet the way he used to, which is why it's good to get a player in who can actually come in, give him a challenge, something similar to what Alonso was doing at the beginning of last season, and he doesn't ease off because he doesn't see Chilwell as a threat. Someone who knows that, what, I have taken this spot and I'm going to stick in this team, or I'm going to make it difficult for Chilwell to come to the team. That is the attitude you need, and there's a lot of players out there for cheap prices, and most of them we're linked with. Linked doesn't mean that we're going to be signing them, so people need to remember that. But I think with him, he's a good player, but I just don't know if at this very moment he should be somebody we'll be looking at to say that he's going to be competing with Chilwell. Because we need competition for James and for Chilwell, and for I don't really think it would be a competition. I think Chilwell would be easily playing ahead of him based on what I have seen of him. But he's a good player.
How about Cucurella? It doesn't look like Manchester. Yeah, it doesn't look like Manchester City are serious.
No, they are. They are
very serious about him.
Yeah, they are. The news about David Rayom that came out, and David Rayom got an assist for Germany not long ago. So that was amazing to see. It just fuels my favor of him coming to the club. But I think with him, he's like a backup if they can't get Cucurella. If they can't get Cucurella, they're going for him. So those two are our targets. So if they go for one, that means that there's still a possibility we can try for the other one. So if they go for Cucurella, we can go for Rayom. If they go for Rayom, we could go for Cucurella. It's best of both worlds.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Again, thank you, people. I think the likes are bumping up, but we're still at 32. We had 80 people plus watching, but we still have just 32 likes. Let's shoot for 200 likes by the end of the show. And thank you very much for 2,880 subscribers. We're getting to 3,000 soon. Again, we have here deals. Again, I wanted to say something. What we do here on Chelsea Perspective is more like analysis. We don't jump to the conclusion that we're going for a player. If we're here, okay, the club is going to this player, we usually come here to discuss will that player fit into the manager system. Are we really looking at him? That's usually what we're here to talk about. But I get your point. And we've also advised our followers not to jump to the conclusions that a particular player has been signed until they see him holding the club's shirt and we see a statement by the club. Then you can say, yeah, that's done. He says, I don't want Richarlison nowhere near us. I don't want him either. Is he a bad player? No. But for some reason, I just don't like him as a player. I don't know why, and I have every right to do so. Declan is asking, we don't have a striker problem. That wasn't Louisa's argument. I think she's just saying that probably, please correct me if I'm misquoting you.
Our imminent problem is not a striker. Like, look at Lukaku. We can't argue that Lukaku is a terrible player. Even on the time he was at the pitch, just that because his misses were costing us chance, because were costing us some games, because we were making just some little. Those are chances that any striker can miss at any level. That, okay, if you miss it at Liverpool or City, you move on, you pick your head up, because you know there's always going to be the next one and the next one and the next one. Like Sterling that most Chelsea fans want right now. Sterling misses just as much as Lukaku. Just that it's at a team where there's production from almost every angle of the pitch. It doesn't seem to look like he has a problem, because things are moving smoothly in other areas of the pitch for him in City. That's our issue. Our issue is that one person not playing well, which is like maybe if Mount has a bad game, there's like a 95% chance that Chelsea is going to have a bad game. If Lukaku comes in and starts missing chances, there's usually a chance that we're going to lose that game. That's just where our issue is right now.
That is some observation right there. And again, thank you very much. I appreciate that input right there. I'm going to try and catch up. I don't want to be far too behind with those in the chat. We want to carry them along. Tobago, DJ, and Ty, I hope you guys can be patient with me. I'll be as fast as possible. Should I go ahead?
Well, all good, bro. All good.
Thank you very much. Okay, Declan, you've heard it. This is a fight you cannot win. Trust me, if it ends up at Chelsea, I am not going to games. He's talking about Richarlison. Be fair deals. Nigel Cooper says rumors all the time. But we're not here to say, okay, it's for certain we're going for that player. We're here to say, okay, if in fact we're going for that player, will that player work for us? That's what we always do here on Chelsea Perspective. I think Richarlison with Kai or Timo would be good. Again, Alex Becker's channel. Again, that's your suggestion, brother. But I get your argument. Jesus should come. Kounde isn't risky. It's not. Some people think it's risky, but it's not risky. I think there's a comment I read. A comment from True Blue says exactly what the injury was. We don't know the severity of the injury. Nobody wasn't clear. The way the Shams talked about how he knew for long that he was nursing that particular injury sounded like it was something even more serious, more severe than it actually is. But I learned from True Blue, it's more like a cleanup or something like that. So I think it'd be all right. And also, we'll learn that the club knew about it also. So that's not an issue. So he's definitely coming to us. Yes, his use is a good choice. Again, if you ask me, I say Jesus is also a good choice because he's a hybrid forward, which I think will fit in very well into Thomas Tuchel's system. I'd rather we go for him than Richarlison. With Zaha for Werner, no, I don't want Zaha. Again, is he a good player? I think so. I think I'd rather us use Werner again to even go to Germany and get Leroy Sané than go to Wilfried Zaha. Again, should have busted gut to get Lewandowski goal machine. We seem to forget because of how good Lewandowski is. And I think it was Nick Blue that always argued that Thomas Tuchel wants Lewandowski. Where he learned that from, coach doesn't know. But the truth is, Lewandowski is an out-and-out striker. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I right? So
you are
chances,
right.
Okay, so
sorry.
Yeah, no worry, bro. So chances are if he comes to Chelsea, he still goes, he's still having the same issue that Lukaku has had. But the only difference is that the one that comes to him, he's going to put it away. Plus, again, it remains to be seen if he's going to be able to cope with the pace and physicality of the Premier League. That's just the truth. And I think he probably knows that. That's why his preference at his age is Spain. That's why he's hell-bent on joining Barcelona, even though the whole world knows they're broke. I think you can put it that way. The whole world knows, they've asked their players to take a wage cut, and they're using, renting out their arena to make more money. Again, that's my argument. He says Kounde is going up for surgery. Now, who knows how long? No, I think a few weeks is back. I think it's not going to take that long. Says we have no threats up front, and we need someone like Richarlison to fight. Again, that fight is what he does. To me, does he have all the attributes I'd like? I want in a player, or I'd say Thomas Tuchel would want in a player. I'd say no. Again, that's my argument. But fight is what he does. He really fights. He really shows. Again, that's you can say he has that Chelsea spirit. But in terms of all the attributes that he should have, then I think I like in a player. I don't. That's me. Werner scored twice versus Italy, including Bastoni. Use players correctly. Yeah, I get your argument. Minor up for Kounde. Again, we are the fourth highest scorers in Europe. Look at Everton league position. Again, good argument there. Says Chelsea will sign 5-6 players. It remains to be seen. We've argued that again. Some say 7-8, but I think a 4-5-6. I think around that number would see again if that happens. There's report that Chelsea are going to sign another keeper after the American. Yep, we've talked about it. What's his last name again? I think it's a difficult one. I've closed to that page. That's on the discussion now. Yep, that's the truth. Dembele is not coming to Chelsea. He's staying at back. Where did you hear that from?
Wow. Oh, my goodness. That's amazing.
Here's the question from Ike IC. He says, okay, give us a source if you're saying that. Is that your opinion, or have you seen it somewhere? Undertaker, please let us know. Dembele won't be announced until
to put us in a tombstone on our dreams.
Can I just
a tombstone on our dreams.
Can I just say?
Sorry,
but can I just say the situation about Dembele? I think people have got to understand and realise the reason why nothing's been announced and the reason why the deal is cold at the moment is because Dembele is still contracted to Barcelona until the end of June. And once that is done and he's available to go to wherever he wants, then you'll see some business pick up. Now, as I said, I can't give too much on it, but Chelsea are obviously the ones are most likely. But what I understand is if PSG were to come in with a last-minute offer, he may opt to go. He may opt to go there. But people saying that this deal for Dembele is done and dusted. I'm not saying it's going to be 100%. All I'm going to say is it's not done and dusted with. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
And here's the thing, DJ. I think you've said that before.
Yeah.
We're not talking with Barcelona. We're talking with just the player. So it will also be disrespectful, even if we already have an agreement with Dembele in place, to announce it or even talk about it. It's not good. Usually when you talk with the club directly and you have a mutual agreement in place, you can go ahead and say we've completed the signing of this player and something like that, or people will start talking about it. So now it's dangerous. Barcelona could sue you if you make the slightest, that is, if you make one wrong move. Go ahead, DJ.
No, that's all I have to say on it, on that situation.
Can I say something when he's done?
Go on, Charlie. You can jump in.
Remember, Tobago hasn't spoken. If you want to give him a chance first, that's fine. But if you want to go...
what I want to say is something small, so I won't forget it. So you can go.
Okay, guys. Coach, did you check my DM?
Yeah, I checked it. I'll open it soon. Okay.
All I want to say, Dimazio said earlier, Inter going to sign either Dembele or Lukaku. But
and they want to go ahead,
But they're about to sign Dembele first, and then now he's saying again, Inter are close to sign Lukaku. Like really, these journalists sometimes are confusing Chelsea fans. That's why I'm saying we need to wait until the club announce it, because like a lot of news doesn't make any sense.
Can I just jump in there quickly? Can I just jump in there?
Go ahead.
Tobago, did you see the other tweet? I get where you're coming from about Di Marzio, and yes, they do get it wrong. But then when I saw Fabrizio Romano tweeting almost the same thing on his Twitter page, I don't think somehow that is a mislead. I think usually Fabrizio Romano, yes, he does get things wrong, but at the same time, 95% of the time, he's always correct with what he says. And if you go onto his Twitter page, it actually does stay on there that they are trying to thrash out a deal with Lukaku, but it's because Inter Milan is the only team he wants to go to, no one else.
So let me ask you this quickly while we're at it. Do you think that really Inter they want to get both what's his name, both Dybala and Romelu Lukaku?
The situation with Dybala. No one knows about the Dybala situation yet. I think I read yesterday on a tweet that the Dybala deal was done and dusted with, but then I'm also hearing that nothing's been done on that yet. Apparently he's been at the club for how many days? Apparently trying to thrash out something his agent has been trying to do, and nothing's really come off it. But what I know, there was a tweet that went around, I think a couple of days ago, saying that Inter will choose one of Dybala or Lukaku. However, they're going to try and sign Dybala obviously permanently, because he's going to come on I think he might be actually out of a contract. He might be coming on a free. I cannot remember on Dybala, but Lukaku will be a loan. So it's more than likely if they do get a loan, they could probably afford to get both players, but one will obviously be on a loan, the other one will be on a permanent deal. But Chelsea obviously will be paying half the wages of Lukaku if the loan deal does happen.
No, Lukaku will take a pay cut.
Yeah, or that even.
Yeah, even if it takes a
either way,
we're still
paying. We're still paying the wages though.
Yeah. That's the annoying aspect. We're gonna pay for Lukaku to be scoring goals for Inter Milan. And by the way, Tobago, I was waiting for you to say, to be honest, I don't think this is the truth.
No, there's a lady in the panel, so I need to respect her.
Oh, so because there's a lady on the panel, you wouldn't say it, to be honest.
Yes.
All right. So let me try and catch up with the chat. Louisa, do you have anything to add to what we just talked about Lukaku, or should I just move on?
Yeah, that's the whole Lukaku situation. Just feels like we are going to last minute. We are going to see Lukaku sitting up in the US and coming to play our matches in August, because it feels like, especially with the fact that we still have some accounting left to do with Inter Milan when it comes to the fees for Lukaku. It feels like they may look at it as us trying to shortchange them, and they may not want to get him so they can get their full money without actually having to get him. And they know we are dissatisfied with the Lukaku situation, so they cannot.
They know we're desperate, if you like,
for their own advantage. Exactly, they know we are desperate, and not just the fact that it's not like the dream signing we wished for. I feel like the fans are also not happy with it, so it might just even, I know the fans don't really have a say in what happens, but at the end of the day, it feels like sometimes the fan feeling and emotion comes into play for some of this business.
Yeah, again, a great input, right? I'm going to try and catch up with the chat. It's becoming too long. Go ahead, Ty, go before I go to the chat.
Yeah. I was going to say that, what DJ was saying about, with Dembele being contracted to Barcelona. I mean, I don't really think that really
the 30th. Go ahead, until the 30th. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but look at the situation of Kamara and Rudiger. If you Google it,
that's a different case altogether, because look, we don't have it. Like it's more like I don't know how to explain it to you. Barcelona are still trying to keep him.
Yeah, but they're literally grasping at straws right now. And what I'm trying to say is that if you look up the two of them, you'll see that it says Rudiger is a Chelsea player who will join Real Madrid after becoming a free agent on July 1st. That is what it says. So basically, what I'm saying is that I'm not really sure if that really is one of the factors.
You could argue that Rudiger is living with the club blessings.
Yeah, and that's true. But
isn't living back on a good term.
You're not getting what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
What I'm trying to say is that I don't really think that because that is the case, it's the issue. I get that you're trying to say that Barcelona are still trying to keep him, and at the last minute they could end up keeping him, probably because people are trying to say, even though it won't be out at the same severity as Mbappe, but maybe he at that last minute he decides to change his mind. But I'm saying that I don't really think that that's one of the reasons. I think the situation is that he hasn't decided between clubs yet.
That's a chance. That's the case. DJ, you want to say anything about that?
That could be a possibility. I get where I can see Ty's debate on that as well. But I really think his time in Barcelona, I do believe will be finishing, because apparently Barcelona, there are a lot of tweets coming out of Barcelona saying, or Barcelona officials coming out saying that his contract is done. They're finished with him. It's all over. So he's done with Barcelona. They tried everything they can to keep him at the club. But I get where you're coming from. Maybe he hasn't decided on what football clubs he wants to go for. At the moment, people are saying PSG are still in the running for him. But that also depends on Zinedine Zidane if he ends up going to PSG, because now they're managerless. Okay, we don't know who their next manager is going to be. Zinedine Zidane apparently has turned them down already. He's turned down. Apparently, they've tried to offer him a few times this week and last week, but apparently he's turned them down. So again, it depends on the directors behind. Now, obviously, Campos clearly doesn't rate Dembele, because he's the one that's basically saying that they don't want him. So then you have to ask the question, where else can he go? I mean, Chelsea's the only other club that he's closely linked with. People are talking about Bayern Munich links as well, but I've not really seen nothing coming out of Bayern Munich, because I think they're trying to get the Mane deal done and dusted with. So that's why I can't see nothing coming out of the Bayern Munich unless a completely different club from out of the water just comes along and says, okay, we're going to give you what you want and you can come to us. It's different. But I personally think that once everything is done and dusted with him, he will make the decision. And I've got a feeling I've just got a feeling he'll end up choosing, without saying, I've got a feeling he might end up coming to England and playing for a club.
Yeah, I think I agree with you with that argument. Again, can I try and catch up now, Ty? DJ, thank you for that.
Sorry,
Ty, by the way, no, that's actually a delicious argument, if you don't mind. I like it. I like the argument that gets everybody on the panel and those in the chat thinking. That makes sense. And for DCFC coaching, Coachila, and big up to the panel. Quick question for you both. What players do you want us to get? Again, the simple answer is this. Get Tuchel the players you want. Do I have preferences? Yes, but it's not up to me. All I do is wish maybe the club, I'd like the club to get, for instance, Nkunku or Jonathan David. Even maybe I like Leroy Sané because I think it will fit well into Thomas Tuchel's approach to the game. Again, that's me. There are a few other players, if you ask me. I would have wanted us to get a Bissouma, or Sangare. I would have, I don't want us to get, what's his name, Rice. It's not that he's a good player. Maybe I've looked at him, I thought, I don't think he will fit into Thomas Tuchel's approach to the game. But if Thomas Tuchel wants him, who am I to blow against the wind? Tobago, you wanted to say something?
Would you take a Calvin Phillips?
Over who?
No, I'm not. No.
They put you on the spot there, coach.
Yeah, no, I'll answer him. Don't worry, Luisa. Don't worry.
I'm not. No.
There's something stuck in my throat.
would you take Calvin Phillips? That's it.
Over who?
Nah, not over anyone. Like, would you take him? It's just a question, coach.
No, I won't, because all I can say is hardworking. I like his industry. I like his ability. He's a destroyer if you want, but I'm not sure. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't watched him that much to tell whether he's able. Look at the players I like the most. The players that are able to progress the ball, no matter how people you have on him, a player that's able to dribble his way out of tight spaces, progress the ball, no matter how oppositions press that player aggressively, or you have 2 or 3 players on him. That's the type of player I like. That's why Kovacic is one of my favorite players at Chelsea. And because we lack those type of players in key positions, like on the flanks, that's why when teams defend deep, the only options you see our players, they take the easy way out, backwards, sideways passes, and we don't do well against teams that defend deep or press us well because we usually are afraid to take them on. Again, if we get Dembele, we have one more player that never shies away from taking players on, even if you have 3-2 on them, or no matter how close up you are to them. So I don't think I've seen, to me, maybe I haven't watched him enough. I don't think he got that in him. So I would say no, I wouldn't take him. Yeah, so let me just try and catch up with the chat. Yeah, go ahead. You said?
I'm saying no problem.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm telling you the truth. That's what I would do. Okay? Let me take your line. I'm going to be saying your lines. In the next hour, Inter Milan will have direct contact with Chelsea to try to close a loan deal for Romelu Lukaku, according to Sky Sports Damasio. Again, no matter how this happens, I still believe Inter are not going to agree with an obligation to buy. I still believe Inter are not going to agree to an exchange because they want money. Before you talk about the Lukaku going to Inter deal, talk about anything exchange, you're not going to get anything for free for them. We see all the 70 plus, and they want money, and they are on a clock, to have a positive, how do I get to show positive account, 50 million plus. So that's not easy. So that's why it's a complicated deal. But because we're desperate, I think we just want him to create space for another player to come in. It remains to be seen what happens. Inter will be stupid to agree to an obligation to buy. I think they'd only agree with an option to buy. And at the end, I don't think they'd buy him because he wouldn't make business sense to them. And again, if you're hoping on getting Lautaro Martinez, I don't see that happening. already they don't have Hakimi. They just have Lautaro Martinez. And those are the two players who were the key creators for Romelu Lukaku when he was at Inter Milan. So without two of them, I think it would be difficult for Lukaku to do well. So Inter wouldn't be stupid to let Lukaku go, to let Lautaro Martinez go, while if Lukaku is indeed coming back, even if it's on loan. So you have to think about that. Who do we get in return? Again, the exchange thing, I don't think it's going to work in any way. Tobago is already on the panel, so I'm not going to read that. Inter pushing to sign Romelu Lukaku this summer. The Belgium, okay, we read that, we saw that on the screen too. Says this guy or such Demisio sometimes confuses our fan base. It happens a lot. A lot of them just, again, they know whatever they put out, people will come to it. Cassia 100 said Luisa is vexed. Maybe Cassia is trying to say that Luisa got mad. No, I don't think she did. She just had to respond to something. Spartan Tai said it ages ago. There are chances.
Today is so weird.
Yeah, he's agreeing.
True Blue is
agreeing with you, right?
I'm surprised.
No, one thing about True Blue is that if you and him agree on something, he will tell you. And if he disagrees with you, he's going to let you know. That's who he is.
That's again, true. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Again says Cassia says subscribe and smash the like button. Thank you very much for that, Cassia 100. Do you know who Luisa is? You sound like you know her. Tobago. What's funny? Again, I don't know. I thought we were gonna do reactions because we had poor season. I think we've reviewed the season actually. We have. Did you miss that, Deals? Let me know. We did the season review. Did you miss it? And it was a good one. Jeff E. Obonadalo. Good evening, my brother. Big up to you guys. Thank you for all the great work you're doing. I appreciate it. And thanks to my panelists. I think they're all good. They're the reason why we're here today. Coachila, tell your guy Tobacco. you tell him directly. And again, let's not say anybody's talking rubbish. We are all entitled to our opinions. And like I've always said here before, if you don't agree with people, it's Deals CFC. If you feel like disagree with anybody, present your counter argument. But I know Tobago understands it comes with part of being it comes with being part of the panel. Sometimes you get a hit. Ayat Nari is not first choice for Wolves. Yeah. So why are we looking at him? So not Chelsea quality, at least not yet. And we have our own young players. Why are we looking at him? So that sounds more like it's absolute nonsense. And Chizoba David says, still signing. We will sign players. So be calm, just be calm, chillax. Okay, I'm going to say that with that guy is absolute champ, Cucurella. But I've heard that Man City are truly serious, and we're not even competing with them to get him. It doesn't look like we're serious about bringing in any player for that position, the left wing back position, because Emerson is still there.
No, that's not true. That's not
true. Are we serious? Okay, who are we looking at? Tell me.
I can't say.
Okay, thank you. We are.
Just know that we are.
Okay, I believe you now. We have a massive striker problem, says Philip Smith. I believe you, my brother, my Indian brother. Stalin is better finisher than Lukaku. I don't know. I don't have to stats to check it. I like to do with numbers to be sure what I'm talking about. As it is now, if Chelsea make no signings, Spurs will finish above Chelsea. I don't think that will happen. I think will be good. Gabriel Jesus must be signed. Again, I'm going to shout to Thomas Tuchel and just tell him what you said, my brother Philip Smith. Again, the class says we can argue that Lukaku doesn't want to play well and wants to play well. There is a converting goal problem with 300 million worth of attackers, consuming majority of our wages. Again, that's another argument. Striker, no problem. Creative attackers, a problem. Everybody sees it differently. Harvard's a ballistic amount, not good enough. That's a serious. Okay. I'm going to get to the bottom, and then gradually I will try to be looking at all the inputs there. And to my fellow American and brother, Jose, nice to see you here, bro. I hope you're doing well. Big ups to you. Big up the panel. Smash the like button, says Jose. Thank you very much. Please do that. And did I miss anything else? Is anybody I haven't said hello to? I think I am good. And now back to the panel. Here's what I want us to talk about right now. let me quickly open it. Again, I'm clicking a whole lot of stuff. We've looked at this, and this is something
Coach,
else.
I have something to say about that person who talked about creative winger being our issue, and someone else saying striker is our main problem.
Go ahead.
Let's just sit with this fact. The fact that when we had an LD Reece James and Chilwell both working from both sides of the flanks, we could see the improvement in our creativity and the goal scoring chances that we were having. And let's think about how that affected our gameplay when Chilwell went out, then Reece James went out for a majority of the season.
Yeah, you still there? It looks like we lost her again. She has a connection issue. Okay. You're done talking.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Okay, good point right there. Good response, if I may. Can you guys still hear me? It looks like my screen is frozen again, and I'm not sure why. Okay.
You've frozen.
What I want to. It's really frozen, but it's going to
start moving
a bit. Yeah, I think every time I try to see how many people that are watching, then playing the video, because it freezes the screen, because I have quite a lot of equipment that I'm trying to upgrade. But that's, by the way, let's talk about this. This is really funny from I don't know if you guys know Harry.
Yeah.
His tweet. Yeah, I enjoy just reading his tweets. He says Ousmane Dembele close to Chelsea, just like he was last week, and the week before, and the week before, and the week after.
Yeah, no, Harry.
To me, yeah, exactly. That's hilarious.
I got Harry. Yeah. I know.
His tweet, he's going to be the funniest guy in the Chelsea community. I enjoy just sitting back and just reading his tweets. And again, that's really, really hilarious right there. It's more like saying no credit today, come tomorrow, on a board in front of a store. And when you come back tomorrow, you still see the same thing. Again, but that's, by the way, we're going to talk about him anyway. I love Harry so much. Here, let's see what we have next. It says Barcelona winger Ousmane Dembele is close to joining Chelsea. And this is what date? Today, and it was 9:30 a.m. my time, which means that's not been long ago. These are your thoughts. Again, we recall what Ty said a minute ago, and how do you trust Chelsea HQ?
Yeah, they have got things right. They've got things wrong. But like I said on the whole Ousmane Dembele thing, it's just a matter of when, really. I know it's frustrating for everybody, but it's just a matter of when and what club he decides he's going to go to. Like Ty said, it could be a situation where he may have still not decided who he wants to go to. That could be. I'm not saying there's no argument for that, because it could be the case. At the same time, though, you're reading more and more comments, you're thinking he's already made up his mind where he wants to go. So I guess you got to just watch this place, mate. Just watch this space. That's all I can say. Watch this space.
Yeah, Ty, your thoughts on this comment. You trust it, or are you still where you are?
Forbes is the source that's being quoted here. The account has put up things that are reliable.
Yeah,
and also unreliable.
So it's very, Did you say Forbes is unreliable?
The Forbes are. I think the Forbes are one of the. I think so. What do you call it? What's the word to use them? They what do you call it? An account, or I know they have a website that they show and reveal like what with ownership, anything financial wise. I know that they do that too, but I'm not really sure.
Before Forbes says as such, I think it must be serious, because they can't put their reputation at stake. People trust them a lot. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it's just funny. It goes back to with that tweet you shared with Harry. It says close. It's always close. it close every day. And what was it? Was it somebody said something about 90%? Yesterday it was 90%. Today it's 91%. I don't remember if it was Kounde or Dembele. But this stands again. It's like every day leading up until the 30th is going to be that.
But here's the thing again.
If it's not 0.5%, it's going to be 1%.
Yeah, let me not let you waste your energy. Here's the thing again. And here's the response here. Let's have some fun here. ADZ says, that Forbes page literally hasn't said anything about it. You get that? So again, it's conflicting. So
you know when I see that, right? You know, like when somebody says something and then the room just goes silent.
Oh man, I really do like. I do love reading comments. Go ahead, Ty.
That gives me the vibe. When like somebody says something and it embarrasses them, right? And the room just goes silent. That's literally how it feels. And then I see somebody under it saying "ox," like awkward, man.
I mean,
the one it may well be some BS. Go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I was just saying the one you just had just now. Is it Sid who had something just now? I think he just went past it straight away about saying the Ousmane Dembele deal is all but being done.
This one.
Was that the one? No, it was one. Yeah, it's all but been done. Yeah. So.
My goodness, this is really hilarious. All of them. It's everywhere.
The issue with football sources is that.
Go ahead, Louisa.
Yeah, the issue with football sources is that we need to still also understand that we are holding these people to an impossibly high standard when it comes to these football deals, because we know they can be hijacked last minute. Clubs can truly be interested and change their mind, or the players can decide that, okay, they don't want this, they want a different setup. Players sometimes don't move just for the money, they move for maybe the environment, the teammates they are going with, and they can change their mind at any point in time. So someone saying, okay, we are interested in this person, we could truly be interested in that person at that point in time, and things could literally change within like two hours because of the different dynamics of everything. They are over, like in England alone, there are over like 40 clubs that can realistically, competitively come out and try to sign players. So it feels like, just like the Mbappe situation, I'm sure even Real Madrid thought it was a done deal at a point till Mbappe decided that he wanted to be king of France.
Yeah, good argument right there. Again, the lesson there is just, again, like we've always, told our followers, don't agree that anything is, don't agree that anything is done. Don't believe it's done until you see the player holding the club's shirt, smiling with Marina or shaking hands with anybody else, putting pen to paper, then you get it done. And the comments are delicious, really. Forbes do richest people, the richest people articles. When did they become a source focus on?
That's so true. That's so true.
This is what I was saying, because I know that they deal with the finance part of it, like with the ownership and things like that. So that's why I was like, huh?
Yeah, this is hilarious. Yeah, this is giving me an idea for another brand new show. Honestly, I'm loving it. And this guy says, Forbes, huh? Like,
you know you should call it. I'm gonna have a new show, and you have a show called All You Can Eat. You should call this All You Can Wheeze. All You Can Wheeze. All You Can Eat. So
all you can wheeze. All you can chat. All you can do. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And this one says we're getting a report from
Forbes started giving football transfer news when they started giving players most influential 100 times top most influential people in the world. So they need to start following their clients.
Really? Do they do transfer reports?
No.
That's what I'm saying. They started doing transfer reports when they started following the people who they want to write about. Following their 100 richest footballers, their articles, and the rest.
Richest donors.
I think I'll do a Google search now to see if they have it. So let's move to Jules Kounde. I think I don't have too much to catch up with here, but I have to say hello to my brother, CFC Fahim. Fahim, how are you doing, brother? Big up to you. And even DJ says a big up to you. Everybody on the panel, we love you, brother. So if you're watching and if you haven't, please take a second to go check out CFC Fahim's YouTube channel. If you want to watch a video or two before you subscribe, but please, I'd be happy if you can let him know I sent you. Later on, if my screen isn't acting up, I will try to share a link to his channel. Again, we have 54 likes while we have 93 people watching. At one point, we have 120 plus people watching. So please keep liking the video. Again, like I've always said, you don't even have to donate to the channel. All I ask of you is just take a second, like the video, to help us reach more people. And the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered. And please also do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell notification button Enjoyed the stream tonight. As always, see you guys again soon. All right, bro. I know it's late there. It's midnight actually, or the next day actually. See you tomorrow. Much love from here. Now, coming back to the panel, I'll start with you. I don't think this just says a Chelsea move for Sevilla Kounde could force Barcelona to go for Koulibaly. So if that happens, because I'm hearing we want them both. You want to come in there, Louisa?
Right now, it's like a buyer's market, and Chelsea have the upper hand above Barcelona because we've Todd has rumoredly given Thomas 200 million for our summer moves. Which means more.
that and there's no guarantee that's the amount, really. There's no guarantee.
Exactly, there's no guarantee. That's why I put the part of rumor, because we've only heard, we didn't hear from Thomas or the club or anyone. I can definitely say, okay, I trust this person. But Barcelona moving for, we know that Barcelona is basically taking, like, I still see the ASP deal is still on the table for Barcelona. So Barcelona they do need the players, but the issue is if Chelsea wants them both, because it could also be like the case of Barca for us. It could be that we want one of two. Realistically, I think Kounde will be the first choice that we want between the both of them if we want only one out of the two. And Koulibaly would be needed for obviously experience where Rudy gap is left, which would actually be great for us to get both of them. But I really don't see us bringing both of them because we would probably need some more reinforcement. So I feel like Kounde is the one that is really up there right now for our summer deals. And Barcelona really does not have the money to deal with Inter Milan's president.
So you don't think Koulibaly is a priority?
I think Kounde is the priority between the both of them. If I feel like we have a list of people who we definitely want to get, especially in defense, and if we are going to rank which one we need most, it's definitely Kounde. I feel like Koulibaly is there also, but if we do not get him, we wouldn't really be panicking or anything. And Inter's president is already like. I've heard, it's not like I've dealt with him anyways. I've heard that it's not easy to negotiate with, which Barcelona don't have the luxury of. They have no negotiation power right now.
You're talking about Napoli president.
Oh, sorry.
Well, go ahead.
Napoli
I understand.
Yeah, so I feel like Barca. I don't think Barca is getting Koulibaly. I feel like realistically, if Chelsea really wants to have like a really good window, would get both Kounde and Koulibaly, but give Koulibaly a shorter contract.
Possibly, yeah, a good argument right there. DJ, your
thoughts? I have gotten some horrible news a while ago.
Really, what happened?
Lukaku could play against Chelsea in the Champions League.
Could what?
Could play against Chelsea in the Champions League if he joins Inter.
Because he hasn't played for us this season.
Right? No, I mean pot 3. They're in pot 3 and we're in pot 2. So that means that we could be in the same group. There's a possibility.
When is the draw again?
But if he goes on loan, he can't play against his parent club, can he?
No, it depends on the
agreement.
The agreement because we've seen players. Malang Sarr could have played against us when we played against Porto, but they didn't play him. He was in the squad.
But that's dependent on the parent club agreement, just like with Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we could do it, and I mean, I don't think we're gonna put it. We're gonna put that clause in. I don't know. Maybe we put it in there, but I think for European competitions, I don't really think that there's really a situation like that where we decide to not put it in it. But I'm not sure. But there's been cases like that because I think Angelino was at RB Leipzig and he played against Man City. So I don't know.
Go ahead.
I thought the rule changed last year. I thought loan players can now play against their clubs in the Champions League competition.
And that's another thing.
In the Premiership, that's what I thought last year. It all changed. It's just in the Premiership they can't play against their parent clubs in the Prem. But if they're playing for a club in Europe, it's different. I think they can play against us. I think the rule changed last year. I mean,
here's this good comment right here. It says the thing with Koulibaly is his experience, and he can lead the backline. I think we've talked about that here before. Alone when we rest Silva. This is another delicious comment which we really need to do. I don't think Kounde can command the defense line if Silva is a bench. I think that's a good argument right there. Again. True Blue says incorrect UEFA different to EPL. Can you give us more details on what you're talking about so we can learn from it? DJ, I'm coming back to you. The question I want to ask you is this: are we going for both Kounde and Koulibaly, or do you think it's one of both?
I think at the moment for me. I think we need both players. Whether we get both players is another thing. I think Kounde seems to be the priority. If we can get Koulibaly, that would just be a bonus for me because we still need to fill the void that Rudy's left, and I don't think we've got anybody in that team at the moment that actually can fill his void at the moment. So for me, the priority would be to get both of them. However, I know there's strong. I know there are strong links with Koulibaly and Barcelona, but as we all know, Barcelona at this moment in time can't even register players at the moment. So whether they could be able to get that deal over the line is another thing. So for me, I think if we can get Koulibaly as both Ty and I'm sorry, I forgot what's the person who's on the chat with us again. I forget her name. What's the girl's name? Sorry.
Tarago.
No. The girl's on the chat with us now. I forgot her name. My apologies.
It wasn't in the chat.
No, in the comment on the panel. Who's it talking about? Is Ty and who's the person on the panel with you? Is it Louisa?
Oh, Louisa. Oh, yeah, the lady with us. Yeah.
Yeah, my apologies. That's what I'm saying, Louisa. I agree with both of them. I think if we can get both, it'll be great. But as I said, it'll be difficult. I think to get that. I think Kounde will be the priority. But don't be surprised if an opportunity is to get Koulibaly, we'll take it. I hope.
Yeah. Again, if we get, I hope we get them both, because if we don't, but there's something I just saw you retweeted, DJ, something about we're leading the race to sign Matisse de Ligt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the tweet and open it so that we can talk about it when we get to that one. So Ty, any thoughts you want to add? Anything to the possibility of Barcelona going for Koulibaly? But I think if you ask me, I'd say we've made it difficult for them already. Why do I say that? We've offered something that I don't think they'd be willing to offer him. Again, that's my argument, because they don't have the money now. If you ask me. Your thoughts, you want to add anything to that, Ty? All right, Deals CFC says that we should get both Kounde and Koulibaly. Again, that's what we've always thought, we're going to get them both. I'm talking, you cannot stop loans. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. The lady, yep. Somebody's making fun of DJ.
No, my apologies. I forgot to get a name. That's why. We've been talking all this time. I haven't got a name. My apologies.
Believe me, she understands. Last year, it's fourth game in 10 days in rotation. Okay. Says that we couldn't get we could get 3 defenders. There's a chance even 4. It depends on whether Aspi leaves and Marcus Alonso leaves. Koulibaly couldn't delete. Again, I think we'll talk about the delete. What the DJ? I think he shared it with me. I'm not sure. Here's something else. Again, that just to calm everybody down. We're not going to waste time on it. It says Chelsea we're aware of Jules Kounde's physical condition, and the player is expected to be back in training within a few weeks, as the surgery is minor. However, it could lower the price tag. If you want to say anything about that, let's talk about if this is, it still says, again, let's highlight, it says it's minor. Do you think Sevilla will budge, DJ? Do you think they will budge at the price?
I think they've already set the price down, but I get what Simon Phillips is saying. I can understand him. Yeah, they should really. I mean, if depending on how the injury is, it should lower the price slightly. Whether they'll do that though is another thing. Let's not forget. They're losing both their central defenders. They've lost, I think, Carlos, I do believe, is Aston Villa bound. And Kounde possibly will be coming to Chelsea. So they're going to try and get as much as they possibly can for him. But I also did say, read a couple of weeks ago that Chelsea could get him cheaper than what the original valuation was of him. I think it was about 15 million cheaper than what was first predicted for him. So it is only right. I mean, with his little slight injury, but somehow or another, I cannot see Sevilla budging on his price. I can see them just sticking to what they're saying.
Again, they seem, I don't know how else to phrase it. I think they're stubborn and they risk losing the player on the free. I'm still looking for that tweet that you just shared. I don't know how I missed it regarding Chelsea leading the race to sign Matthijs de Ligt. I haven't found it, but I'll keep looking. But that's, by the way, again, I think that's a chance that leads to the price coming down because no matter how you see it, I think it's still a risk to a certain measure if you ask me. But I know they'd argue otherwise because it's business. But again, there's a lesson to learn there because True Blue, who's in the chat, has always talked about while most clubs are reluctant to talk to players, to try to sign players while they are on international duty. Because once you have a deal in place, even if the player comes back with one leg or an eye in one leg or an arm broken, they become your players. They become your responsibility. You pay them the money you owe them. It only make, like I said, there's something to learn that. And with that, I want to say thank you again for, how many likes right now? For 61 likes. I know we can, let's try and get it to 200 likes by the end of the show. So if you haven't, please take a minute to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I sincerely do appreciate that. That helps the channel grow. Again, we're going to move on to another topic here. It says, because if Aspi goes, we need 3. That's just the truth. Again, it says, I've been saying all along 55 or 50 million mark for Kounde. I think that's around that price. They may well not budge, like DJ says. They may well notch the price down a little bit. It remains to be seen. Nobody pays the full price of damaged goods. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. As long as you haven't paid already, as long as you're looking at the goods and there's a defect, you ask for a discount.
What is that called again? What is that called again? What is that called again? There's a particular name for it. When something isn't of the same value, it's sold for less.
Maybe there's another language. You say when something depreciates. Is that what you want to say?
That's the word.
Depreciation. Okay, is the word you wanted to. Okay, yeah. Again, 45 would be all right. Again, says we should add a Malang Sarr in the Kounde deal. Again, I think Tuchel may well keep Malang Sarr because he's worked with him to an extent and understand how he wants the game played. And we seem to forget that he's just 21. He's just 21. And here's the thing I learned. Here's the thing I've learned. Before that, I want to say I will call it a night, Coach. I'll talk to you and everyone tomorrow. Good night. Yes, have a good night, brother. And I hope everything are good. Things are good, well on your end. Here's the thing I want to say about Malang Sarr. Games that he underperformed. At that point, we had some, our best midfielders out. And again, the pairing then weren't protecting the defense well. Yes, he still has some mistakes in him, and that's common with young players. Believe me, I think that kid, we have a player in him. And that's a game he played where everybody on Twitter, they were all raving about him, saying how good he was. And then again, the next game, because the defense weren't protected well, they were exposed, and everybody, singled him out and was blaming him. I think that kid we have a good player in him, and we will regret it if we let him go. Your thoughts, Ty?
Sorry, I missed what you said.
Your thoughts on Malang Sarr? You think we should let him go? You don't think, he's a good player? Remember, he's young. He's only 21 or 22, isn't he?
Malang Sarr, that is unfortunate.
You don't like him, I see. But go ahead, give me your reasons. You think we should let him go?
It's not that I don't like him. There's no one on this earth that I don't like. I may not.
No, let me say as a player,
it's not
if
like
you
that.
prefer.
It's not like that. I don't. I mean, if it's a case where, a club comes in for him and say, you know what, we'll take him on loan. I'm not good to say. I wouldn't say yes to it. But I mean, in the beginning, and he's had good games for us, so it's not like I can take it away from him because he has had good games. We have tried to experiment with him as a left back, especially when we're playing a back four. But his distribution really isn't up there. But like you said, he's 21. There's still time for him to improve on that. That is something that you can learn. That is something that can be built on. If it's a case where we have him, that would really be an issue because that would mean we, but at the same time, not really much of an issue. Game time, it will be limited for some people. If Levi Cole is kept, they're gonna be on the same side. People are saying we'll use him on the right, but I mean he's a left-footed player. I don't know about using a left-footed player on the right in a system that or rather in a formation that we use. If it's a case where I mean if it's a loan, if a team comes in for him on a loan, then I guess I would accept it because I think he's still young. I think people say he's not Chelsea level, but that is something that you can eventually become. I'm pretty sure a lot of the players that we employ right now, they weren't considered at Chelsea level when they first came in, but over time they eventually grew into that categories. I think he's still young. I mean, Ampadu is probably what 2 years older than him, probably 1 year older. I don't remember. And I mean, people didn't think he's Chelsea level last season, but now they think he is. So, I mean, after it depends on what happens. I think the situation plays a huge role in the thoughts of fans, and I think you never know. He could go out on loan, smoke up in some team, and then fans say, you know what, Malang Sarr is actually a good player. I think maybe he was just premature. It was his first season. He was still adapting, was still trying to get a grip of the league and the team. You never know. So I mean, for Malang Sarr, I wouldn't mind him staying. But if a loan comes in, I think probably benefits him because I don't really think Tuchel would really give him much of a role as he did last season, especially if he gets his targets or the players that he gets coming and they actually do the job.
Yeah. Again, with that, I want to go ahead.
Here's the thing, Ty. I get giving players chances. I'm a big believer in giving people chances. Realistically, how long would you keep, if we were to keep someone like Malang Sarr and some of these our youth players like Levi Colwell, people are clamoring, even Nathan Ampadu, Broha, Gallagher. Realistically, because there's a lot of people on Twitter who really want all those players who I just mentioned, who are basically like half a squad, who want those players to be integrated into the first team from beginning of this preseason. Realistically, how long do you think you'd give those group of players without developing like a completely new squad? How long would you give those group of players time to develop into a Premier League squad? Because I don't think with those players will compete with Liverpool and City within 2 or 3 years. How long would you give players time to develop if we were to bring those kind of players in?
Yeah. Again, that's a good.
This is why I love. This is why I love these type of panels. People challenge you and it's a respectable way.
Yeah, go ahead. You respond. You're not leaving the question to me. You answer the question, Ty. Yeah, look at you. Yeah, go ahead. I know it's a delicious question, but you answer it.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
When it comes on to giving time, I think and I do agree. When it comes on to with these type of players, there's only so much time you can give them, and especially when you have players who are in and around those ages or probably 1 year older than them, they're actually doing the job that they're not doing, and they came from a league similar to them. So I think in that sense, I mean, the amount of time that you can give is just so much. But if people still believe that, you know, his age is on his side and he can improve on where his weaknesses are, because I don't really think there's much of a weakness in him. He kind of reminds me of Christensen, you know, before, you know, the impact of a Silva or things like that, because his concentration is off. Sometimes he makes some decisions with the right intention, but it doesn't work out. I can remember the Zenit game, you know, he stepped a bit forward to play an offside trap. Didn't work out. He instead played another player on side, and they made a pass to that player and they ended up scoring and kept a try, but it didn't really make a difference. So I think, you know, with a case like that, I think the time that you could probably give him is probably 2 years. I know that that's the normal time for any player. I think that's the case for, obviously, with some people they'll say Werner should have been sold this summer and the last summer. But, you know, people need to understand that, you know, we've had this reputation of, we had players who they never got to the level that they can get to until their third year. You can use Hazard. Hazard didn't get to the level that was so shocking or amazing until the third season. And I think the third season, if I do my maths right, was when we won the league under Jose. So, I mean, things like that is things you have to consider, because I think, you know, different, you know, atmosphere, different personalities that you're surrounded around, it actually helps you. Because I can say that for Rudiger. Rudiger is a good player, and he was even good before Silva came in. Under Conte, he in the closing end, he did well. Under Sarri, he was doing well, then he got that injury. Lampard, he had a few flashes of good games, and then, you know, Rudiger and Lampard didn't have an agreement and things fell out. So I think, you know, with Malang Sarr in particular, it's a case where if you give him 2 years at least, if he doesn't improve, and I think the important thing is that get him a good loan. Don't loan him to a club that is trying to build up their defense, because they have lost players like Sheffield United when they were ninth, and then we loaned Ampadu to them because they had done well the year prior. Norwich City, because there's a German manager who worked with Tuchel, understands the way Tuchel likes to approach games and likes to use midfielders. I think it should be at a club where, you know, those clubs are competing really, because I think when you do things like that, it's actually good, because we've seen, even though people don't really consider Wigan a top team, Reece James went there, he literally smoked up the championship. Aston Villa with Tammy Abraham, people don't like Tammy Abraham, he got sold eventually, but he played an important role in them getting promoted. So I think in that case, time is important, because I think, you know, we probably, for some fans, we probably look at the fact and say, look at what happened. Look at what happened. We have done where we saw two players for one player who we thought had it all, and now we're regretting it. So in that case, you know, time is, if you give players time, they can improve. And I think, you know, with players like Tammy, you know, for example, it's a case where, you know, it wasn't like he was pretty poor. He was scoring goals. He was getting in double figures, you know, even after, you know, the injuries that he had. And I mean, he was improving. So I think, you know, it was just a case of being unfortunate. But with Malang Sarr, I just feel like there's a good player in there, a player that can be brought out. But I think, you know, the time is important, and I understand if fans probably use the narrative that we don't have time to really say, you know what, that is, if he needs time, we can loan him more and then get the players that can actually do the job or half of the job, and then we build from there. But I think we need to understand that, you know, you need to keep these inexperienced players around, because it will benefit them when they have these experienced, you know, players surrounded around the team, because they'll try to base their game off it, even though I don't really agree with that. But they'll try to base their game off it. They'll try to approach games from their perspective, and then try to build from there. But I think, you know, with Malang Sarr, I think there's a good player in there. I just think that the time that he probably could get his 2 years, and that if he comes good, if he goes out on loan, then you never know. Tuchel probably could reconsider him, but I don't really think that a sale is probably the most viable thing. We even we nearly loaned him out, you know, last summer. But I mean, I think the deal fell apart last minute, and he ended up staying. So you never know. Oh, you guys hear me?
Sorry. I was saying, DJ, you want to add anything, or should I just go ahead?
No, listen, everything again. What Ty said, I completely agree with that as well. I think with some of our fans out there, I think we're too much of impatient FC. We want to see a player come in and do the business straight away. And look, I know Malang Sarr has got his flaws at the moment, but he's still young. He's still learning the game. He signed a 5-year contract when we got him on a free. So he has, correct me if I'm wrong, but he has about 3 years left on his contract. Now, if Thomas Tuchel thinks he can keep him around for next season for squad depth, I won't complain about it at all. However, if he does need to go out and get that extra experience, I also won't complain about that either, because if there's a good player in there, I think there is a good player in there. And he's one of those kind of players that I think you can rotate, not just play in defence. When I look at him, I think, what else could he bring to the team maybe if he really improves his game? And maybe there's a situation where you may be able to play him as a DM, if he's really that good, if he can really, really improve his game. And we're looking to maybe bring in a DM or something like that. And if they can put him out on loan and he gets an opportunity to play in various positions, as Reece James has done when he's gone out on loan. We've seen it happen with Mason Mount when he's gone out on loan. They've come back being, all-round players and, and better players. I'm not saying Malang Sarr's, before Chelsea fans come at me, I'm not saying he's a DM. No, I'm not saying that at all. But, if he can obviously play, still being young, if he gets an opportunity to vary his game, I think it could be a really, really good asset for us. And, I really think he could do well for us for years to come. But unfortunately, with some of our fans, unfortunately, out there, they want success so quickly. And they think these players are just not good enough. They want them out the door. I think we did that mistake with Tomori, in my honest opinion. I think Tomori went too soon. I think had he stayed around, I don't think we wouldn't be punching ourselves now looking for a centre-back to come in to replace Rudiger. So we need to be careful and tread carefully with some of these players. Give them the experience I agree with. Get them out. If you need to get this guy go out on loan, maybe if we do get this Kounde deal over the line, maybe give him to Sevilla for a year or two, see how he does up there, and then as a loan move, and then bring him back. They're going to be looking for a centre back. So once Kounde goes, he could possibly go there, but we'll see. But I like Ty said, I wouldn't get rid of him. I would keep him around the team because I still think I think there's a good player in him.
Yeah, there is. But again, we've learned, we're not patient. We're Chelsea fans. Quickly, let me catch up with the chat. Pulisic Dad tweeted, can you let us know what he tweeted? I don't see it. I don't think we will be able to get the 3 defenders. Time will not be on our side due to the fact that we weren't wasted time. We were under restrictions. You must let's keep saying all these things. That's not okay. Yeah, Courtois played for Atletico against us in 2013-2014, whereas on loan from Chelsea. Was it? Are you talking about the? Is it the Super Cup final? I think it was. Well, that was in 2013. I don't remember when they beat us. Was it 4-0 that Falcao scored? How many goals? I'm not sure if that's the. Let me know if that's the game you're talking about. I think Chelsea didn't want him to play, and Atletico objected or something. They went to UEFA and they allowed them to play. I could be wrong. I thought there have been 7 transfers throughout the Europe. We were sanctioned until week 2 weeks ago when players went off to their national team. UEFA window not even open. Lost count of times I have said this. Again, some people, most people that come here and ask that similar questions are those that not being be here when we talked about it. Window open on again. Yeah, your device is trying to help you type, but that's by the way. Window will not open until the 1st of next month. And again, if you haven't, please, we have 81 people watching, and we have just 69 likes. Please keep liking the video. I sincerely do appreciate that, and it'd be ungrateful not to say thank you for 69 likes. That's not easy. It takes just a second, and it's still. And it's still just free, so please keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. True Blue, I thought that the window was open until September. Okay, the length is what you're saying. Excuse me, something in my throat. So please keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you very much. Now, coming back now, what next do we have to talk about here? Let me look at it. And I'll come back to you.
About the window, I think it was because the season is starting way earlier than it usually would have because of the World Cup. So that's why the transfer window is kind of also affected.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I get it. So that's the reason. Thank you very much, Tribute, for clarifying that. Not a Super Cup. It was a 2-0. It was 2 games, a 0-0 away, lost a 3-1 at home. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate you educating me on that. September 1st, I think that the first maybe a Sunday. Yeah, but True Blue must be asleep at this point. His device is really typing for him. Now, let's look at this. DJ just shared this with me. He says the guy has, I think, around 59,000 followers. He reads, although Chelsea and Newcastle are willing to pay his release clause, Jules Kounde wants to play for Barca. The club and Sevilla are trying to find the formula to make it work.
This just sounds very wrong, considering that Jules Kounde has not a large fee. If you think, this just sounds wrong because it doesn't have a large fee if you think about it in footballing terms. But he's also a defender, so his fee is also quite on the high side when you think about what we pay for defenders. So I don't think Barca has anywhere near what Sevilla is going to ask for, except they are going to strengthen their rivals for free. There's no way it's going to Barca. You have to move.
I don't think.
I just thought I'd show that and share that, because I'm just.
Let me see if there are some responses. Yeah, there may be.
My heart is hurting me. No, what is this? That is nonsense. No. You know the reason why it makes no sense.
It doesn't. Not in any way.
That's why I tweeted. That's why.
The reason. Number one, Newcastle are not interested. You know why? Because they have their centre backs. They don't want any more centre backs. So that is one thing. Yep. So that already dissects it, because Newcastle are not in for him. They have 21-year-old, 23-year-old, 25-year-old, 26-year-old, and players who are versatile who can play as a right back and as a left back. So I don't think that they're going to be going in for somebody when they have literally 6 players of that versatility, and then they have Matt. I think it's a Matt Target who's a left back. So I mean, come on, it makes no sense.
It doesn't.
But no, that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't. But I'm just saying what people are tweeting out.
No, but it's interesting. I love it. This kind of thing makes a show, and there's a lot to learn.
I needed that.
That's why we're here, to educate people, and it didn't have actually too many likes. That's why we're here, to educate people that those are all BS. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, TJ.
No. I was just saying, I only sent that to you, because I want everyone to just have a look and see the crap that people are tweeting out there, right? Yeah. Any player, anything, it just seems like every transfer news activity that comes out. I mean, they make some impossible some stories that you just got to look at Barcelona's situation to understand this. They don't have money to spend. Right?
And they're linked to every player in the whole world.
They can't register any players. Yeah. I mean, this deal for Kessie, I don't know if he's even been registered yet. I think he's still waiting in the wings.
He's a free agent.
There you go.
We could definitely go for him.
The Christian, we could actually go for him. We're looking for a DM midfielder. Go and get Kessie, man.
Just say, you know what Christian says? Nobody's coming in for you. We love you too much for you to be a free agent.
You get me, mate.
Louisa, you haven't said anything about that tweet.
What's that, Chelsea?
No, Louisa haven't said anything about that tweet. Louisa, are you there? Okay, it looks like we've lost him.
I think he's probably laughing.
I'm here.
Yeah, did you see the tweet I shared about Barcelona?
Yeah, about them going in for Kounde.
No, she spoke about it.
Yeah, let me share this one. Maybe I should share it again. Just give me a second. I will share it again. I didn't think you were. Let me just quickly share it. It's hilarious. Even Bobby in the group is having a serious laugh right now. Have you seen it, DJ?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, let me see here. Where is it? It's this one here. Okay, let me open it here. It's hilarious, really. Okay, 1 second. So that let's get Louisa's thought on it. Okay, Louisa, here you go. Your thoughts. You see it now?
Oh yeah, I already talked about it. That there's no way that it doesn't make any sense considering Barca's problem right now.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't anyway. And we're wondering how did he get us that much followers? Quite a lot of them.
Who is it though?
65. Sanera is the person's name.
Who's MD?
Who?
MD. The source that they said MD at the end.
It could have the light for the comedic factor now because he's quite a funny person.
Yeah, possibly. And I think this is really hilarious indeed. I think I wouldn't pay so much attention to it. But that's, by the way, again, let's look at this one here. I think we haven't, but let's just quickly look at it and I'll catch up with the chat. It says, Chelsea are still on course to sign Jules Kounde despite alarming comments with the France national team coach. Yeah, that wasn't good by Deschamps. Surgery is minor but needed. He hopes to make a preseason. Both Chelsea and Sevilla were aware of the situation. Yeah, indeed. Again, I don't think there's much to talk about. Regarding that one. And here says Coachila Pulisic. Is it Pulisic? Pulisic tweeted something about his son. Okay, Pulisic Senior, and then deleted it. I think he has an itchy finger. I don't know if that's how to itch a finger. He can run his mouth to every now and then he comes out with some nonsense. Again, I don't know
had to
why.
Get a screenshot of it, hopefully, man.
Yeah, I just don't know why. But with that, I want to ask you, we have how many people? We have 87 people watching, but we have just 72 likes, which means we need how many? 28. We need 28 more likes to get to 100 likes. At least, I'm not going to be greedy now. Let's shoot for 100 likes. Please keep liking the video. It is for free. And if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. What month is the World Cup actually? Mateo Musa is asking. What month is it?
December.
Oh, December.
November to December.
November to December. Wow. Thank you very much for that, Louisa. I know we all knew it was a typo. November 21st to December 18th. Okay, thank you very much for that. How many players have left Chelsea? I don't know. Again, except for the ones announced. Officially announced Rudiger, right? Who again?
6.
Musonda.
Christensen.
Oh, Christensen. Have we announced his departure?
Yep.
Clark Salter.
Danny Drinkwater. Finally.
Okay, finally, on a free too. But he made a lot of money.
He did.
Doing nothing for Chelsea Football Club. So I think he's happy.
What is wrong? What is with this just making these long apologies? I'm so sorry that it never worked out.
You know what? The only highlight of Danny Drinkwater's career is he picked on some poor 15-year-old kid in a Tottenham match in the game they played. That's his only thing he did.
At least he's honest about it. He's honest about the situation, again.
Oh man, still though. Did you ever see that game? Oh man, that was so bad.
Man just tackled. So they tackled him and he just went down and tackled them.
Yeah. Honestly, he hacked him. He literally hacked the poor guy down.
He needs to drink water, man.
And chill. Yeah, that's not okay. Yeah, so please, if you haven't, keep liking the video. We still have 82 people watching, and we'll be rounding off in a few minutes itself. If the panel raises anything they'd like us to talk about, here we've taken a look at that one. And here, okay, Rafinha. Yes, I want to talk about him. DJ, is this serious or is this nonsense on its own? It says Rafinha is a target for Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham this summer. Amid concerns, Barcelona will be unable to fund, and that's the truth. A deal for the forward. Leeds are open to selling Raphinha, provided the club's evaluation of the player is met. And I read something also that says we've had positive talks with them.
It's true. Yeah, there is. I mean, sorry, what's that? What was that? What was that? Sorry, what's that?
True. It's true.
No,
let's let DJ finish.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say no. I was going to say yes. He probably is one of many targets that we are looking at, and I'm not going to sit and say it's not, because I do believe they are looking at him. And I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if it was last season or this season. After they played against us, he was having a very close talk with Thomas Tuchel. God knows what they're talking about. It must have said you played really, really well against us. They showed the camera pictures at the end of the match with him there, and obviously then he was obviously talking to his teammate in Silver. He's obviously his club, his country teammate in Silver. So I don't know. You could read something into. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he is. I wouldn't be surprised if he is. I do believe he's one of our targets. Whether we get the deal done is another thing, because he's got quite a lot of clubs after him.
You think he'll work for us?
I think he could do well for us. I do rate him as a player. I have to say, I think he's a really, really good player. If you ask me to choose between him and Richarlison, I mean, I like Richarlison as well, but I would choose him over Richarlison.
Yeah, I do think he's a better player than Richarlison overall. That's me. Richarlison, all I'm able to see is he's out working. You know, he puts in 150% whenever he's on the pitch, and he likes to wind up defenders and all that. I like that in plays. Again, Ty, your thoughts on the links with us and Raphinha.
Yeah, I mean, according to some people too, we were actually we had an agreement with him for the sanctions. So I think that he's a good player, and I think I know what DJ is talking about with Tuchel speaking. It's actually twice actually, because in on both occasions they spoke to each other. And I mean, he's done that with each player that we've been linked with. If you think about it, Declan Rice, they were just so close. He was just speaking to him, and this is photo of him. Declan Rice is just like he said something. And he was like, really, and Rice, I looked like Rice was saying really. So I think that in a sense, there's some interest there. I just think about it's about if it's also a thing that he is probably the more ideal signing to make than Dembele, because they play on the same side. So unless the choice is that we're keeping our options open, because I think that some people won't like this, but Raheem Sterling, there's an interest valid there. And I mean, unless it's a case where we're just weighing up our options, or we're going to be choosing between Sterling, not Dembele, because Dembele is somewhere that is going to be looked at for the right and Sterling's for the left. And you probably look to say that maybe you never know, Raphinha or Dembele or Sterling. So I think in that sense, I think there's some interest there. But also I need to say this: the Mundo, the Portovo, the issue, the comments actually said that Kounde
they did say
chooses prefers Barcelona actually. So it's not that person wasn't lying about it. Somebody actually said that. So that makes me want to. That just makes me stop laughing, because I don't know.
But again, that doesn't mean really it's not a made-up story.
No, I know I'm not saying. I mean that they're not. I mean that they weren't making up that there's actually reports saying that. That's what I mean.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think Kounde was in London unless he came to speak to Tuchel and say, you know what, you have a good project here, but Barcelona needs me. Unless that's what he's saying, and they have centre backs too, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, and I'm going to catch up with the chat, and I come back to the panel and ask Louisa had thoughts. We were talking about what we were talking about again. I got distracted a bit.
Raphinha,
thank you very much. Again, here Zach Baku says, what happened to Kounde really wanting to join last summer? Again, what happened was that, if you remember, we sold Kazuma to West Ham United, and before we did that, we had an agreement in place, even the final fee with Sevilla. But the moment we sold Kazuma to West Ham United, they knew about it, so they thought we were desperate. As they moved the goalposts and started asking a higher fee than we'd already agreed. So we didn't allow them to take us for a ride. We said, no, we're not paying that. So that was why he didn't come to us then. And True Blue says, first EPL game after World Cup, Boxing Day. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that. Bless up, says Courtney. Courtney, nice to see you here. I hope things are okay on your end. It says Richarlison does that stupid pigeon dance. So it's
I
not for
love it.
me.
I love it. I love
So
it. It's
you
funny.
just don't like him because of the pigeon
Brazilian
dance.
player.
Yeah, that's Fahim's biggest problem is the pigeon dance. Really. Really, Fahim, you're going to do that? Again, if you haven't, please go check out CFC Fahim's YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe. He's closing into 1,000 subscribers. He on his own single-handedly worked so hard, produced some great content, and quickly like this, just within a month, and he's closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and we can help him get there. If you haven't, please go check out his channel, and also do the same for Thai Talk CFC YouTube channel. Go check out Ty's CFC YouTube channel. If you haven't, do subscribe. And please, I'd appreciate it if you can let him know I sent you. Okay, and I'm going to try and catch up with the chat right now. Where was I? I think I've read this. I've read his. And True says that kid went through Drinkwater and was 17 or 18. At least Drinkwater owned it. Sarri screwed him over, telling him he wasn't in his plan after the window closed. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that 16, almost 17, and he was a sports player. So legit reaction. Yeah, so like murder him if he wants to. That's what he's saying.
What was that?
He says the kid was a sports fan.
Who?
Yeah, he says 16 or 17, and he was a sports player, so to speak. I think the kid that had altercation, if you want to phrase it that way, with Drinkwater. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yes. Oh, okay, yeah. That's right. It was about that age. That's right. Spot on.
So he's saying, the kid deserves it. Again, I don't condone that. Phantom wakes up from beauty sleep. Again, keep sleeping, Phantom. Do you rate Jed Bowen? Anybody on the panel want to talk about him?
Man, I think he loves to score against us. I don't know why. We need to sue him.
He didn't have the best of games today. I have to say, it was actually quite disappointing today. I have to say, in fact, I was so disappointed.
We can say the whole
result.
of England did have the best game today, so I don't think we should be judging anybody on this. Last 3 or 4 sets of England games.
What's the score?
Hungary 4, England 0.
Holy! No wonder Twitter is on fire right now.
Yeah, it wasn't a great result. But you know what, though, I'm not making it. I know people are going to say it was Hungary, and you got to give them fair due. You know, they played. They've got the goals and everything. But I have to say, and I'm not making an excuse for the plays, but they do look shattered. They look tired, man. You could see today they're not on their game at all. None of them were on their game. But then it's been like that for the last 4 international games they played. And they've only drawn one of the games against Germany. And I do believe they drew against... So they drew... No, in fact, they drew against Germany, drew against Italy. I don't think they've won any of their games, England, so far. So it's been a draw.
Wow.
And it's been a loss and draw. Portugal, on the other hand, which I'm happy about, we seem to be winning, and I think we drew. I think we lost.
Can you help us get Rafael Leo? DJ, can you help us get Leon?
Who? Sorry, mate. Yeah, what a player! Oh man, what a player he is! I'd love him to come. I would love him to come to Chelsea. Whether the AC will sell him, mate, is another thing. I don't think they will somehow or another. He's
140. I think around 140 is his buyout class.
What a player he is! Honestly, he's one of the best talents to come out of Portugal football. Honestly, he's absolutely brilliant, fantastic. But I cannot see him selling. Yeah, he is well worth it, but I cannot see him selling. I cannot see them selling. Be nice if they could.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I'm going to catch up with the chat and come back to the panel. Please keep liking the video. We have 83 people watching. We don't even have up to 80 likes. Come on, people. Okay, let's shoot for 100 likes. That's like how many more? 22 more likes to get to 100 likes. We can do that. If you haven't, please do like the video. Says, can Rafinha play on the left? I think he can play on both sides. You could argue he's good. Maybe not perfect on both feet, but again, we'll see. Didn't he want to be a blue though? He wants to, and he still wants to. Now he wants to be part of Barca. Again, we don't trust that source. We just have to look at it, look at the source, and say, okay, maybe it's true or not. But we'll see what happens. Hi guys, doing fine. Cliff Manmuta. Cliff Manmuta, it looks like this is your first time here. If you haven't, please be sure, keep liking the video. Yes, we're at 82 likes right now. You guys are absolute legends. So we have just 18 more likes to get to 100. I said, hi guys, doing fine out there. But which ones are the official announced signing? None yet. None yet. And we have to be truthful to you. It's not yet. Just keep following the show. And I'm actually working, programming an automated transfer watch stream that I can just turn it on and be sleeping, and it will be running, and it will be showing tweets from trusted sources, and you follow it there. So keep an eye open for the first one, maybe tonight or tomorrow. I'm tired to complete the programming. But again, more importantly, Cliff, this is the first time I see you here. If you haven't, please like the video. And guys, yes, thank you for 82 likes. Keep liking the video. Keep liking the video. We can get to 100 before the end of the show, and we can there. Southgate trust the process. Yeah, I know. I know. Does he really mean it? No, I know he's being sarcastic because he's Scottish. I know that. Okay. Now it says, sign a Bowen up my chair up, Mendy. I thought you get the joke there. DJ, you get the joke there?
Sorry, was that sign up Bowen my chair up, Mendy?
Yeah, I get it. I get it, really. That's a classic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Courtney says, to be honest with Southgate, I am worried for you guys. Well, I'm an American. Maybe you wouldn't say you're worried for DJ too, because he supports Sporting Good too. So
I'm British Portuguese, yeah. So I support England and Portugal. Yeah,
so you have something to console yourself with.
Yeah. Oh man. The result.
What about the lead?
Yes.
Fatwa Musa, I guess DJ shared something about the lead. I couldn't find it. I looked for it. I think maybe, I don't know if I'm wrong. I think it was something that popped up that said, let me see if I'll see it here and copy it. My app is saying DJ Sav tweet. Maybe I didn't see it properly. Tweeted something about the lead. DJ, was that you?
That might have been. Was that the one Tobago was saying, look, check your DM? Is it the one he sent?
No, that's a different one. I saw something about that we're leading the race to sign the lead from Juventus.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I think I put that. I think I put that on the wardrobe. Yeah, we are. Well, we're supposed to be. Go on.
I'm gonna look for it again. Leon. How do you pronounce it? Is a baller. Indeed, he is, and it's quick too. And as quick as is, because usually when you find players who are very, very fast, usually they're not that good on the ball, but he has both. So that's very, very unique. Says tell us, Lazai, to clean. Oh, sheets. What club he plays for? Hungary, right? Is that it? What country does he play for?
Who's this? Attila Salisi. He plays for Hungary, yeah. He scored today.
The guy, and what happened to the rumors that we already signed him? Apparently, the Lukaku to Inter loan deal could take off in the next few days. I hope to see it happen, but I want an obligation for Inter to buy it, because it doesn't make sense to just let Lukaku go and be paying him to score him for Inter Milan. Because if Lautaro Martinez is still there, he'll start firing on us and we'll all be pissed. Get that. Again, DJ, you have any updates on Delete?
Nothing. No concrete news on Delete. Only that he's one of the options that we're looking at, but we're not the only ones. I know there's talk that Juventus may offer him a new contract to stay on there. I think till 2026. But I don't know anymore. I know he's one of the players that we're 100% looking at, but we're not the only ones. I think Liverpool want him. I think there was talk of Liverpool are looking at him as well. I don't know how they're going to bring him into the club. I don't believe that one for a second, because obviously they got Konate, Van Dijk, and so I don't know where he'll fit in there. And I do believe I think Manchester United is another one that's looking at him as well. But Juventus want to keep him. But whether he stays on there, I don't know. I know he does like it in Italy. He does like the city and everything. So whether he'll stick around there, I don't know. He may leave if he wants if he decides to go for a new challenge, then maybe yes. But at this moment in time, I've not heard nothing about us really making something concrete on him.
Yeah, something I heard that again. I think he's asking Juventus before he puts pen to paper again for an extension. He wants them to reduce the release clause, which is I think it's 120. So he's refused to sign a new deal right now. But with that, I want to come to you, Louisa. Before we round off, I can't find anything on the Leeds to Chelsea now. Your thoughts on Raphinha?
What about me?
Oh, sorry, Ty. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, let her go first.
Okay, Louisa, what your thoughts on our pursuit of Raphinha?
Yeah, not to get off topic here, but I had something to say about the England situation right now. People talk about it being that they just came from a very stressful season, which of course a lot of players played a lot of games. That's all fine and good because they should be resting, not playing them this guise of this friendly tournament that UEFA has brought up to make more money. But here's the thing: the World Cup is going to be sandwiched in between the regular season right now. This is exactly the same situation they are going to be facing in the World Cup. So at first I was like, these players do need their rest, but at the same time, you are going to November, December is right between the period when the European competitions pick up during the group stages, and you are going to come back at the tail end of. You are going to start a season where by January, December, you started seeing the later stages of the cup competitions, the FA and the Carabao Cup. So it's really not the excuse they should be going for, but that's besides the point because I really don't care how England ends up in their international woes, but they should bring back all our Chelsea players injury-free.
I pray that too. That's serious selfishness there, Louisa.
That's always what I pray for. No one should take my. If you are not, I rather you don't play play my club player. If you are going to injure them or stress them out, let them just sit it out because if they win a trophy, it's really just bragging right for me. It makes no difference. But the Raphinha situation is actually a good. I feel like he did put they put a clause in his contract for when Leeds do get relegated, so he's definitely going to come cheaper than if they stayed up. And the what's going on right now?
Right? Louisa, Leeds survived.
Yeah, they did survive, but it did come to
the wire, if you prefer. I think.
Yeah, they survived, but it did come to a case of people were talking about it right before they did before the whole survivor part. People were already talking about us getting in because it was potentially going to be cheaper, which made sense financially to keep someone like him if we're going to get him cheaper. But I feel like Raphinha is one of those deals that does depend on if we do get a first choice. Compared to like he's definitely on the list. It could also depend on which the other prospects we're looking at. If we do get them, we might not have to get Raphinha. But if we don't get him, it's definitely not. We could do worse than him for a second choice.
Yeah. Again, Ty, come. Let's look like this the list story, Ty. If you want to say anything about Raphinha, because this is serious. I follow Vince. And I follow HQ. I think they're both carrying the story, and it's serious, really. Go ahead, Ty. You were saying something.
What you said, Vince?
Yeah, you don't trust him. You don't trust this.
Oh, I mean, sometimes I guess sometimes he. Sometimes he has.
But go ahead. You were gonna say something about Raphinha first. Start from there. Don't bust my bubbles, Ty. Go ahead.
Raphinha, quality player, and it's important that we give it a try. Secondly, Delete, after taking into consideration his ability on the ball, I have seen that he could be possibly be a understudy for Thiago Silva in the center. I mean, it's risky, especially for that price. But I mean, he's still young, and I mean, I think I said this in the past. When you're in an atmosphere, when you're at a club, it can make you look better or worse. And I use the example of Wolves. Jota, I still don't say Jota is the greatest player, one of the greatest players for Portugal, but comparing to what he was doing at Wolves before he moved to Liverpool, it's second to none, because I think it's surprising how much he's improved, rather, or probably in terms of goals. And then you can use what's his name, Matt Doherty. Wolves, he left Wolves. He was one of the greatest players that they had there. Goes to Spurs, does absolutely nothing. He's done nothing to really make a statement for himself. So, I mean, in that case, all you can say is that I don't want to judge him just because he hasn't been the greatest at Juventus, because he was known and he had a reputation for being a quality player at Ajax. So I don't know about that. I don't really think it'd be a big thing to say that, you know what, he's not doing good. So I think, you know, with that, I think it's a case where sorry, somewhere I just saw somebody address me and I lost my track. Anyways, with that, I think, you know, the price is probably the only risky part of it, because I mean, we know how fans are. Price tag, you know, it really determines the way that players are looked at. People won't really criticize Mendy because you'll see that, oh, it was barely anything really on him, so they won't really say that. So if he decreases, they'll say, well, we spend such and such more money on him compared to a Lukaku or a Werner, a Havertz, people like that. So I think in that case, I don't want to judge him just based on that. But I feel like, you know, with De Ligt, he's a good centre back. I just think that, you know, with the situation he has at Juventus, most of the defenders look like they do have a defensive bone in your body. So I don't know, because he was good at Ajax, and I mean I have this soft spot for Ajax players.
I do like him and I do rate him. They say I'm answering this question at the same time. I think it's a fine player. At his age, he's shown he's capable of, you know, he has some great leadership qualities in him. And remember, again, you could say, if you look at the Juventus defense, the veterans that that make up the Juventus defense, he's the youngest. And he does mainly all the running for them. You know, but people usually don't see that. I think he's a good player, and if we sign him, he will be, he will be part of the project long term. It's not going to be like a 2-3 years fix. He will be here 10 years to come and still be doing well for us. Yes, a Koulibaly will come in again. He'll be, an instant. You could say if Thiago Silva isn't playing, he'd be able to lead the back line comfortably for us. But I think De Ligt would do that well too, because it's not like he's going to be doing the running for Kounde or whoever starts on the right-hand side, or Chalobah or whoever starts on the left-hand side, because they're all capable of running. They're still young. And again, and he could be learning quite a lot from Thiago Silva. But that's me. I hope we'll get him. But it looking like it's true. If Football Italia carried the news before Vince tweeted this, then it may well happen, because we're talking about the promise that we're promised 2 marquee signings. If you said Declan Rice is one, then I think De Ligt will be the next one. Again, that's how I see it. DJ, your thoughts on, and do you trust these 2 sources?
Vince, he's usually he does come out with stuff that he usually says is correct. I mean, I do follow his path as well, and also the other. But for me, as I said about the De Ligt situation, I mean, if we can get him in, I think he's a good player. I do rate him as well. But as I said, whether Juventus will actually sell is another thing. Even though, they're saying that. I mean, even there is strong interest in him. Obviously, he's saying on here that we're leading the race to sign him. Leading the race to sign him and actually getting him is 2 different things. And as I said before, from what I've heard that they don't really want to sell him. If anything, they want to. If anything, they're trying to bring in. I think they want to bring in someone to play alongside him. Who that is, I don't know. but they're looking for defenders as well. So that's why they wanted Rudiger very much in the season as well, Juventus. So if he can come over, I would not be gutted or down if he was to come. But I would still choose Koulibaly over him, and that's only because of experience. And
because we need a mix.
We need experience. And people say Thiago Silva, but Thiago Silva's what, 37, 38 years old. He's probably got one more season left in him, maybe one more after that. But he's not going to start every game. So we need to bring someone in there. And look, I know Koulibaly's 30. He can probably get about 2-3. I still think we can get 2 or 3 years out of him, because defenders don't seem to lose their skill set. I mean, you just got to look at Piqué at Barcelona. This guy seems to be going on and on and on and on. So so for me, look, if we can get De Ligt, brilliant. I won't complain about it, because I do rate him as a player and I do like him as a player as well. But I would obviously choose Koulibaly over him.
Yeah, it makes sense. We need balance again.
And Skriniar is another one as well. Skriniar has been mentioned in there as well. He's another good defender as well that we're heavily linked with. I know PSG want him as well.
Can you quickly answer this question too, DJ? Answer this question too on the screen.
Who's better, Skriniar or De Ligt? For me, at this moment in time, I probably would say Skriniar. Only because I think he's. Huh? What was that, bro?
You're on record.
Yeah, I think he's better. Yeah, I think he's better. I know why you say that. I think he's better at the moment. I think if we were to bring him in, I would not say no. I think Skriniar is a top defender, and so is De Ligt. But if I was to make the choice now, I probably would say at this moment in time, I probably would say Skriniar.
Yeah, I agree with you again. But the clear difference there is you could argue the lead ability to lead. He's got that leadership quality in him, and that's important. Yeah, to lead the back line. But again, Skriniar starts on the left or on the right, not usually centrally. Am I right? Again, so but we're getting the lead to help us lead the back line in case, if Thiago Silva isn't playing. I think he'd be able to do that. Here, Dilcy also says if we get a Kounde Koulibaly the lead, we will be stacked for the future, ready for Silva's departure. Yep, that's important. Yeah, to be prepared for his departure. Says maybe we do a swap deal for De Ligt. Juventus wants Jorginho. It would be player plus cash because Jorginho will be around 30, 40, 50. I'm not sure the number. No more 5 defenders in the back. Chelsea again. Here's the thing about Thomas Tuchel's back three and Conte's back three. Conte's back three is more defensively focused. For Thomas Tuchel's back three is more, attacking focus, and the primary role of the wing backs are just to participate mainly in the attack, not to defend. But again, he's not going to change the system anyway. Just to use 5 defenders in the back if he receive goals. Again, Luis Garcia. Up Tuchel not changing. Yeah, I knew even if True Blue was sleeping, he was going to come in and say something there. Before I come back to the panel to Luisa to give us her thoughts on was it again De Ligt, and then we can round off the show. I want to ask the people watching. We need just 14 more likes to get to 100 likes. And thank you. I think we've got nearly 20 subscribers today. Right now, we're at 2,000, I think, 887. Yeah, it's nearly 20 subscribers today overall. So if you haven't, please keep liking the video. Just 14 more likes to get to 100 likes. And if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. Again, it says, I've read that, and I've read this one. Do you think Tuchel has had phone calls with Dembele? Yeah, of course. They have a good relationship. He did say it himself. Even if it's not coming to us, even if it still hasn't made up its mind, I think he most definitely must have spoken with him. What's his name? Jules Kounde too. And again, I argue again, his vacation in Italy, you could argue, isn't strictly for a break. He may have chosen Italy to get the chance to talk to players we're looking at. It may well be a strategy. Like I'd argue before, conversations over the phone are usually not as convincing as when you're sitting with somebody face to face, looking them in the eyes when you talk to them. It says that since when Tuchel changes his system. Yeah, we'll see. And again, this is CSG Fahim, my brother. If you haven't, please take a second to go check out his channel and do subscribe, please. Great channel, great content, always objective, and that's why we've become brothers overall. It says, common people like the stream, 14 more likes to get to 100 likes. We're close. Keep liking it. When Chelsea play 4-2-2-2 versus play very well, and Ziyech plays fantastic, that's the truth. That's the truth. But he hasn't stuck with that formation. Again, I don't know why. But I'm going to come to the panel while Louisa speaks. If anybody on the panel other than Louisa has any other thing they want us to talk about, brilliant. I'm here for it. Louisa, your thoughts on delete?
Yeah, we've spoken about delete before, and it's just between the fact between Skriniar and delete. I feel like it's really a matter of preference, which one is the better player, because I don't think objectively you can say one is better than one at the moment, because delete has taken like a really big role, and that's why Juventus are really keen on trying to sign him and increase his release clause, so that it will be more difficult for people to just activate the release clause whenever it gets to that his peak years, because I think it's still 23, 22, and
no, right.
at the moment.
No, let me find out. Go ahead. Go keep talking. I'll find out for you.
Then
no, keep talking.
I feel like it would really be a class signing, but his insistence on reducing the release clause also means he's really not ready to leave at the moment. If not, if he wanted to, if he really wanted, he just wants to play some more in Italy and maybe.
I think he wants to leave.
No,
if it's
I think he wants to leave, but I don't think he wants to leave.
Go ahead.
I think he wants to leave, but I don't think he wants to leave right now, because if he wanted to leave right now, he wouldn't be signing another contract. He doesn't want to leave. Maybe the offer he's having on the table is not where he thinks he should be going at the moment, or the money he should be going for. He feels like maybe he could still increase his stocks in the market by playing some more with Juventus, where he has an already established role in the team. So he's asking for, he wants to sign a new contract, except he's just stringing them on. He wants to sign a new contract, but with a changed clause on his release term. So he definitely wants to still stay, but he wants to have the freedom to move when he decides to move, so that it wouldn't become like a case of Rice, where people do one thing but are being skeptical on whether it's what West Ham is asking for at the moment. So he's definitely a good player, and one, if we should get him, I feel like another thing too is we do tend to get players who are already big in the market, instead of, most likely, Chelsea are kind of like a very flashy team when it comes to transfer. Nowadays, then we used to get players who we made them. Now we get players who are already big on the market, and it feels like we don't get a bargain anymore. So we usually get a big player with a big wage, which we want to perform immediately, which feels like it's even kind of our issue. We look for mercenaries who are not ready to stick with us through building phase and get the club to a more established place. If not, because Chelsea won't go trophyless in 2 seasons, except maybe with the new owners who kind of have like a new outlook on this. If not, we don't usually have the patience when it comes to getting the players to like attain a level which we can consistently say, okay, we're challenging for the league this year. We know that we have a good shot at the Champions League. We need that kind of consistency. So I feel like if we get delayed and we are patient, we should definitely see something coming towards our way.
Here's the thing again, a great comment right there. Again, you mentioned we're just getting, big name players for the sake of it. I think that changes on the Todd Boehly. He said it before. They're gonna spend, let me say, wisely, or strategically, and they're gonna work with data. They're not gonna just be throwing money at problems like Roman Abramovich did. I love Roman Abramovich, but I think under Todd Boehly, we will have there's a chance we'll have a sustainable success. We'll be able to dominate for a long period of time because I think they give the manager time, to build the team in his image, the way he wants them to, in something like that. Because you could argue under Roman, the reason why there was never a time you could argue we dominated the Premier League for a stretch of time. It's been patches of success that culminated into, you could argue, overall what we've achieved under Roman. There are times we fired managers, after even a big season where they did quite well. But that's, by the way, I get your point. I think that changes under Todd Boehly. So, DJ, coming to you, anything else you want us to talk? If not, anybody on the panel wants anything else you want us to talk about? If not, we can call it a day.
I wouldn't laugh.
No,
sorry, why do you want to laugh?
Go on, Toy.
No, let DJ say. It can wait.
No, okay. I was just going to say on our situation of what we're going to be, how business is going to be done now. I think what a lot of us, most Chelsea fans, I think want to see a manager that can stay at the football club for more than just 2 years, win something, and he gets sacked if he doesn't win something the next season. I think Todd Boehly's already decided. I think he's already started to put things in place where I think Thomas Tuchel's role is changing from head coach to manager. I still think we need a director of football, personally, for me, someone who can actually go and help Thomas Tuchel get these players. I know he's left it to Thomas Tuchel for this season to choose and pick the players he wants, but I feel for the future going forward, I do believe we do need a director of football, and I think if you're going to keep Thomas Tuchel around for a long term, which I hope we do, let the man build on a project and try and build something at Chelsea, because he's very happy in London. He loves Chelsea. And I think what we need to do is, when you've got a manager that really wants to stay and wants to make it, I reckon we should, we should be a bit more patient with him and let him build on that. And I do believe in years to come we will. Well, not in years to come. I do believe probably if not this season coming up, next season we will challenge the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City for the title going forward. We just need to make sure we have the stability in place. So for me, yeah, that's very important. And one more thing on the Pulisic situation. I was just about to say on the Pulisic situation, I do believe there was a tweet that went out today. I think Fabrizio tweeted it, saying apparently he's having showdown talks with the board about his future and what's going to be happening with him. That's an interesting one to follow, because I know a lot of Chelsea fans are not being very happy with him. I still think at the age of 23, he has a lot to offer. And I think we should. I think personally we should try and hold on to him at least for another season and see what we can get out of him. Because for marketing purposes as well, he's going to be. He'll bring a lot of money to the football club. I know people say that sounds a bit selfish that you're using a player for that. I actually rate him as a player in general. I just think he's been unlucky with injuries, and I think a lot of fans, and there's a lot of fans out there that's saying he should be sold. For me, I hope he does stay around for at least another season and see where he goes from there.
Yeah, again, True Blue here says the point of signing a new contract to reduce the buyout clause, not because he wants to stay. That's the truth. Yeah, his contract expires in 2024, so it suits the Leeds and Juventus who wants to sell. Yes, I'm hearing they really want to sell him, and it looks like we may well at the end, before the transfer window shuts, hear that we've signed him. Again, if you're watching, we have 75 people watching. If you haven't, just 11 more likes to get to 100 likes. So keep liking the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Again, Ty, what you want to say so we can call it a day?
First of all, let me just say this. Look who's backstabbed. And Lukaku out. I hope he leaves. I hope I don't see his face in a Chelsea shirt again. And finally, it was a good stream, full of laughter, full of some interesting reports to read, and full of some very, and I'm going to steal this from you, delicious debate. So it was a good stream as usual, and I just hope that it continues. But I can't get over that report about Kounde and Burstow. No,
it's hilarious. Yeah, it was hilarious, and thank you for sharing that, DJ. Honestly, I do like it. I think with that, people, we've come to the end of the show. Says Luis, more chance of Tuchel changing the system than buying the Duracell.
Don't disrespect the man like that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much at True Blue. That's the latest too. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody on the panel. Again, if you haven't, please go follow everybody here on Twitter. You can see DJ Sav at CFC. You'll find them. Sav17 on Twitter. You can find Titex on Twitter. You can also find Luisa Soldaro on Twitter. And of course, follow Chelsea Perspective on Twitter. And check out Chelsea Perspective Facebook group on Facebook, and follow us and share to more people to join. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat, specifically True Blue for staying from the beginning to end, and also Zach, back to Luis Garcia, Chiboye, Femi, nice thank you very much for joining us. And for CFC Fahim, my brother, also go check out CFC Fahim's YouTube channel and do subscribe. And again, thank you very much. Again, it's been a brilliant show. Very enjoyable, and thank you. See you guys tomorrow for the Blue Morning Show. Thank you, and God bless us all. Cheers.
Up the Chelsea. Peace, everyone.
Yes, up the Chelsea.